Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we have an intense and emotional journey for you. What if Naruto gave up on Konoha? In this alternate universe, Naruto is done. After everything he's done for the village, saving them in the Fourth Shinobi War and risking his life time and time again, he's tired of being treated like trash. The village he fought so hard to protect has turned its back on him. Instead of gratitude, they fear him. Meanwhile, Sasuke, who betrayed the village and tried to destroy it, returns and is hailed as a hero, while Naruto, the true protector, is cast aside and looked down upon. Naruto's had enough. He confronts Tsunade, but instead of the answers he seeks, he drops a bombshell. 3 words that will change everything. With that, Naruto walks away, leaving the village behind, never to return. This is a story of betrayal, heartbreak, and self-discovery as Naruto's journey takes an unexpected turn. Will he find a new path, or is this the end of his legacy? So, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because this is one story you don't want to miss. Let's dive into what if Naruto gave up on Konoha, and see what happens when a hero decides to walk away. My successor will be Uchiha Sasuke, Tsunade declared. People cheered as the mentioned boy, no man, looked surprised at that as he was immediately bombarded with praise, pats, and congratulate him. His friends were grinning and the villagers and shinobis cheered his name. Sasuke searched the crowd for his blonde teammate. He was smug about getting the title, but for some reason it felt wrong. He finally saw the blonde, who gave him a smile and thumbs up before walking away. Sasuke was about to call for him when Sakura jumped in his line of sight. Naruto looked up and stared at Tsunade, who looked away in shame. Naruto was hurt. There is no questioning it. He was betrayed, but Naruto somehow knew that maybe, just maybe, he doesn't deserve the title, that he couldn't reach his dream like what the villagers told him. With a heavy heart, Naruto headed to the Hokage's office. He knocked softly. "Come in," was heard from Tsunade as Naruto twisted open the doorknob. Inside was Shizune, Kakashi, Irika, and of course Tsunade. "Naruto, what are you doing here?" Tsunade asked. She could not bear to look at the blonde, as did Shizune, Kakashi, and Irika. "I'm done," Naruto simply said, making the 4 looked at him in confusion. Naruto simply smiled as he reached out and took the headband from his head and folded it before placing it in Tsunade's desk, making the 4's eyes widen in shock. "But you just acquired the rank of Jonin. Naruto, what are you trying to say?" Irika choked on his breath when Naruto looked away, biting his lip, and took a deep breath. "I have a patience of a saint even if I did not show it. I have endured things that would make normal people cried out and died in the process. I have a heavy burden that was slowly crushing me, yet I did not complain. I have people who turned their back on me many times I couldn't even count, yet I still forgave them." Naruto began. "Naruto, if it Tsunade began, but Naruto shook his head and raised his hand to cut her off and let her speak. "I think it's time for me to step down. I have done my part and completed what the prophecy had foretold. I can't do it anymore. I need a break once in a while too." Naruto smiled sadly. "What are you saying, Naruto?" Kakashi asked. Naruto took out his old orange and black jumpsuit that was neatly folded as he flicked his wrist. A cloud of smoke surrounded him, and when it cleared, he was wearing the same clothes as he placed the Jonin uniform that was not on the scroll next to his headband. "I may have the strength and power unlike any other and have an insane and off-chart stamina. But despite that, I'm only human. Like other people, I get tired too. It's time for me to stand back," Naruto said bitterly. "But Naruto, what about your nindo? Your ninja way?" Irika asked, trying to get the blonde to change his mind. "I'm doing the only thing I did not do or even think about ever since. Forever. I give up," Naruto said, causing their eyes to turn wide and looked horrified. Tsunade was about to protest, but when she saw the state Naruto was in, his emotions were rolling off in waves without his happy-go-lucky mask holding it back. Tsunade had no right on stopping the blonde as he finally bowed down. "It was nice to work with you and serve you," Naruto said before he stood straight and made his way out of the office, leaving the stunned occupants behind. And the very next day, Uzumaki Naruto was gone, with no trace left behind. At first, the villagers celebrated, but as 5 years went by, it had dulled until it stopped. Konoha 11 were saddened about Naruto's sudden departure without saying goodbye. No one knows why Naruto suddenly disappeared or if he was still a ninja other than the 4 occupants on that day. Tsunade did not announce it. Even the Hunter Nin were empty-handed. Sasuke also refused to become Hokage. His conscience was filled with guilt and anger. He thought that it was that damn tittle that drove his teammate, and dare I say, best friend away. Many things happened during the duration of 5 years. Former Rookie 9 was already 25 years old, and Neji, Lee, and Tenten are age 26. From Team 7, Kakashi is more distant than usual, always talking to the memorial stone. Sakura is now working in the hospital to take her mind off of her teammate that had been missing for 5 years, and from everywhere she looked she could see the blonde and it getting into her. Sasuke is now always working his ass off, became an ANBU captain, and if on a mission he would at least try and find the blonde while he's at it, but like the Hunter Nins, he was empty-handed. Sai was sad and bored that he didn't have someone so easily riled up like Naruto to annoy. He also missed the blonde's antics, and he's not going to deny that. From Team 8, Kiba is more brash and loud than usual and is complaining about Naruto disappearing out of thin air, and had jokingly remarked that he would have punched the blonde if the Inazaka caught a whiff on his trail. Hinata, who was wearing Genjutsu Hinata's revealing outfit, was surprisingly cold and distant. She had changed drastically out of all of them. If someone bad-mouthed Naruto or even dare speak his name in an unpleasant way, a glare infused with her Byakugan and a gentle fist, that would send them flying like they were punched by Senju Tsunade herself, that would send them to the hospital for weeks would be the result. Everyone was shocked at the behavior of the Hyuga, and they learned not to talk about Naruto in her presence. She also had achieved the heiress title as she defeated Hanabi without even trying. Flashback. Hinata stood calmly in front of Hanabi, who rushed to try and attack her. Hinata simply swat her sister away like she was a mere bug that sent her crashing to the wall and unconscious. Hinata activated her Byakugan and glared at her father and the elders, who were shocked and unnerved at her gaze. Like I said, Hinata spat, glaring harder on the elders and her father. "I am not in the mood to fight. Force me again and I won't hesitate to send your sorry asses to the hospital for months, and dare I say it, I would make it a year. I hope you will not test my words. Otherwise there will be consequences." Hinata sneered coldly as she turned and walked away with hands on her pockets, and shoved the dumbfounded Neji away from the door and exited it herself. Flashback ends. Shino haven't changed at all, just lonely without Naruto causing a commotion around. In Team 8, Lee was upset but strived to train even harder to try and find Naruto and challenge him in a spar. Neji was sad and was curious on what drove Naruto away aside from the very obvious reasons. Tenten missed the hyperactive blonde and his tendency to make people laugh. She may not be that close with Naruto, but she still missed him. Team 10. Choji was sad that there would be no one to match him and shared ramen with him other than Naruto, who was now gone. Ino was sad as well. Shikamaru thought he was such a drag and troublesome, but he was also missed the blonde. It seemed that the sun is dully shining down on them, as if disappointed on their behavior. Turns out, Naruto was always there for them, but they weren't there for him. They really did took him for granted, and now look what happened. Konoha wasn't always the same when Uzumaki Naruto left, and that got them thinking. "Where are you, Naruto?" Naruto sighed again for the 100th time. He sat in front of a very pregnant red-head woman with red eyes who was eating meat like there is no tomorrow as usual, pulling his golden lock into a high ponytail before he stood up and grabbed the straw basket front the cabinet before heading to the backyard before opening the door, revealing a perfect vegetable garden planted by himself and that woman earlier. Fixing his pink apron, he walked towards the cabbage patch. Naruto isn't the same as before. When he left, Kurama had contact on him that he wanted freedom and roam around freely. Naruto was never to deny it to his friend. He started to learn Fuinjutsu to try and tweak his father's seal. Only for it to backfire. It released Kurama in a human form, but it cost them much. Their genders. Naruto is practically a female as well as Kurama now. It was weird for them at first, but it was effective to throw off the Konoha ninjas that are searching for him, plus it was beneficial. Naruto had long golden yellow blonde hair that reach up to her ankles and still possessed those beautiful cerulean blue eyes, only wider and bigger. She was also busty and well-developed body, above average and hourglass figure. her skin tone gone paler as well and shrunk 3 inches from her height as a boy. Kurama had acquired a fiery reddish-orange hair color that reached up to her knees that was always pulled into twin pigtails like Tsunade's hairstyle, but her hair is in front instead of back in a messy yet stylish way with her bangs and fringe framed her face. She was pale and had a body every girl dreamed of with her chest that would rival Tsunade's. Both were living in peace in the small civilian village hidden in the forests for a year, buying a suitable house for themselves until Naruto finally got the place for her own. Also, Kurama was experimenting on Edo Tensei to try and bring Kushina and Minato permanently and is working with seals along with Naruto. It was a success. The two were living on their own house 2 houses away. Kurama also wanted to have a partner or mate, so she strolled down on the acceptable and tolerable people she knew, and she found one, and an unexpected one as well. Uchiha Itachi. Naruto almost jumped out of her skin when she found out, but a battle between the two, Itachi can hold his own against Kurama with the help of his Sharingan. Kurama then used her chakra with Naruto using the Sage of the Sixth Path to forge Itachi's Magenkyo to Eternal Magenkyo. After that, they bought their own house for themselves as well and married after 2 years of getting to know each other, and had a 2-year-old boy who acts like his father and got his looks and coloring but with Kurama's facial structures with her temper. They were keeping a low profile for a while. Naruto disguised herself when she would go out. Cannot risk if some ninja would recognize her from her infamous sexy jutsu, by covering her whisker marks with makeup and wearing contact lenses to hide her cerulean blue eyes with the same shade as her mother's eyes, and coloring her hair with orange as well. Her father had his hair coloring the shade of orange like Yahiko's, since he was pretty well known in the elemental nations. Kushina merely dyed her hair the shade of auburn and would cut it to her shoulder length if she went out, but you use hair growth jutsu to grow it back again. Naruto finally finished picking up the fresh vegetables from her garden before entering back inside to find Kurama already leaving. See you tomorrow, brat. Itachi and Mamoru would be back in a few hours. Also, I heard from the mayor he called for you in his office after you're done with your chores, Kurama said. Naruto nodded as she set the basket in the counter. I will. Naruto nodded as she waved goodbye to the pregnant Kyuubi. The others would really be laughing a storm when they hear about this. Especially Shikaku. Naruto smirked before heading in and washed the vegetables and putting them in the straw basket that has a white cloth on it as she put the other vegetable in her refrigerator. Naruto took off her pink apron before fixing herself and put on her makeup and contact lenses before dyeing her hair. Hair dye that would only be washed off by chakra. Naruto changed her clothes into a simply yellow sundress with orange and red flowers on it before slipping in a white doll shoes before grabbing her straw basket and head to the market to trade her vegetable with fish and meat. Naruto was greeted with smiles and hellos. In the village, she was known as Kazama Natsumi, a widow woman who lost her fiancé 5 years ago and gave birth to a daughter who died a few minutes later, and also the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Kazama Erasure and Kazama Kikyo. And Kurama was known as her cousin who married to Kazumaki Dai with their son, Mamoru. Naruto left her basket with one of the people she really trusts, and the first one they meet in the village, Momooba-chan, an old lady who sells vegetables in the market. Ah, Natsum-chan. So good to see you again. Running out of meat and fish, I see. The old woman laughed wholeheartedly. Naruto scratched the back of her head.
Yeah.
Kara-chan had me cooking them and her eating them. I swear she eats all of my storage. Well, pregnant women are such picky eaters, so I can't blame her. Naruto shook her head as the old woman laughed. Yeah, I know. But you will know how it would feel if you are pregnant as well, Mamasaki joked, making Naruto giggle. I know, but I am still waiting for the one, Naruto joked as the old woman laughed. Oh, I almost forgot, Momo-ba-chan. I am called to Mayor's office. He wants to see me for something. If I could, leave my groceries here? I swear I will fetch it later, Naruto said. The woman nodded. Of course, dear. I'll take care of those. Run along now, and please, if you see my granddaughter, tell her I need help in the store. Thank you. The old woman smiled. Naruto bowed and bid goodbye. Naruto walked calmly down the path without worrying much of her surroundings. Kushina had placed a seal on her as well as Kurama, Itachi, Minato, and herself to hide their chakra reserve into Jonin's and disguised it with someone else. Kushina used her parents' chakra signature on Itachi and Kurama, while her granny Mito's chakra on Naruto to hide theirs, while she used her uncle and his wife's chakra signature to disguise hers and Minato's. So the passing hunter Nin that were looking for Uzumaki Naruto, would not know it was actually her. Naruto arrived in front of the mayor's door and raised her fist to knock. "Come in," was heard as Naruto grasped the handle before twisting it and pushing it open gently. Naruto's breath caught in her throat as she stared at the 6 shinobis inside the room other than her. Hatake Kakashi did not change much, except this time both of his eyes is showing and he look older. Uchiha Sasuke was wearing the same Jonin uniform with his headband tied loosely around his neck and his katana strap behind him and black fingerless gloves with the Uchiha clan symbol on the right sleeve on his Jonin uniform. Haruno Sakura wears a Jonin uniform with her bubblegum pink hair is longer and in a messy yet stylish bun with her headband in her head serves as like a headband. And finally Sai wearing a Jonin uniform. Team 7. They stared at her with calculative gaze, making her swallow the lump on her throat before composing herself and bowed before standing up straight. "Good afternoon, Konoha Shinobis, Mr. Mayor. What do I owe you a pleasure?" Naruto asked as she closed the door. "Ah, Natsumi-chan, this is the Konoha Shinobis that would be in the village for a while for an investigation. Village matters, so it's classified," the mayor began. Naruto raised a brow but nodded. "And since you used to be a special Jonin in AIM, would it be okay for them to stay in your house while they're here? Most of our villagers are paranoid about shinobi and anything that involves with them, especially the war just ended years ago," the mayor said. Naruto sighed but nodded. "Of course it would be alright, but how long are they going to stay?" Naruto asked. "We promise it won't be long. We would finish our mission as soon as possible, so we could not hinder of you and your husband's privacy," Sakura assured. Naruto then put her act together and let out her fake tears of sadness and look away. Naruto should be given some credits on having the Best Actress awards. Naruto is expert when it comes to masks, so she was easily pulling it off like she always does for most of her life. No one saw through it. Sakura panicked when tears fell from Natsumi's eyes. Her fiancé disappeared years ago with no trace left behind, which she believed. He died, and she was giving birth at that time. Her child was already dead when she gave birth to her. It's a sore subject to her, mentioning her family," the mayor said sadly as Naruto cried harder. "I am really sorry, Natsumi-san. I did not know," Sakura exclaimed as she tried to comfort Naruto, who flinched away as she turned back before wiping the tears from her eyes and composed herself despite the red eyes and walk out of the room to the bathroom to fix herself up and reapplied the makeup. Team 7 stood there awkwardly as the women left to take care of her emotional breakdown. The mayor shifted uncomfortably from his seat until Naruto entered again, but more quietly this time. "Ah, Ms. Kazama, I apologize for not informing them about your love life." K looking away. "Ah, so you should be going now. It's getting dark and your house is quite far from the village," the mayor coughed awkwardly. "Hi, please follow me," Naruto muttered as she left through the door and could hear them following her. Naruto maneuvered from the busy streets as she was aware of Team 7 was following her through the rooftops. Naruto picked up her basket and bought extra groceries before walking to her house, which was 10 minutes walk away from Kurama's house and half an hour walk from her parents'. It was deep in the woods where it was quiet and peaceful. Her house was 2 stores with an attic and a basement. It's really large for someone who lives alone. It is painted with baby blue color and black rooftops with white doors and windowsills. There was a white wooden fence and gate with her front yard filled with flowers, mostly roses, and 1 peach tree. The blonde dyed orange put her groceries down before fishing her keys by the flower pot and unlocked her door before picking up her groceries and went inside, leaving the door open for the shinobis to enter as she removed her shoes and put it neatly in the rocker. "I only live alone. I have only 6 bedrooms. I occupied the bedroom in the east wing, which is the master's bedroom where the door was painted with orange. My parents' bedroom, if they would visit, painted with yellow, and my cousin and her husband's bedroom that was painted with black. I only have 3 guests' rooms, so I would leave you to it which pairs with which. The guest room is in the west wings. Make yourselves comfortable. I'll cook dinner," the host said quietly but loud enough for them to hear it. "Thank you for taking us in, Ms. Kazama. It's really nice of you," Kakashi said, and for the first time not having that orange book in his claws. "It's nothing really," Naruto shook her head as she organized the things in his cupboard and refrigerator. "Kakashi-sensei," Sakura called. Kakashi walked over and started at the picture frame. In the picture there stood Naruto with a goofy grin wearing his orange and black jumpsuit with Natsumi on his back grinning, as well while showing a golden band with a small diamond on it, an engagement ring. This had them looked surprise and shock at the photo. There are lots of them hand on the wall with two older male and female which they believed was her parents, and with a redhead woman and a man who looks like Itachi without the scar marks on his face. It almost gave them a heart attack. I is that Naruto? Sakura hissed at her teammates who blinked as they eyed the orange-haired woman cooking dinner that looks like sushi, tempura, onigiri, and egg soup. The dobe has a fiancé. Sasuke gaped. Well, I guess he isn't a D-Sai started to say when Naruto gave him a sharp look. Insult him. I dare you, Naruto challenge as she stabbed the kitchen knife in the fish while glaring. Ah, I'm really sorry, but it was just a nickname. Sai fake smiled. Naruto huffed and continued on cooking before she sayoned the dishes and prepared a clean one and set the plates down before she went back to work. She needed to tell it to the others that Konoha shinobis are in the area. Knock, knock, knock. Naruto perked up when a knocking sound was heard. It was her mother, Kushina. She was about to go get the door when Sakura stood up. I'll get it for you, Natsumi-san. Sakura smiled. Naruto nodded. Thanks. Kushina, in her disguise, raised a brow when a pink-haired woman wearing shinobi leaf jonin uniform opened the door. Both stared at each other for a while. Kushina blinked as well as Sakura before she gave her a blank look. Who are you and why are you in my daughter's house? Kushina demanded. Yeah. I'm Sakura and my team, and I would live with Natsumi-san for a while. Come in. Sakura opened the door wider as Kushina gave a curt nod and entered the house and removed her shoes and placed it neatly on the rocker before she maneuvered her way to the living room where there are other people inside. They blink at her as she blinked back. Naruto dear, you have visitors yet you did not inform us, Kushina said as Naruto entered the living room. Sorry about that, Ka-chan. I did not know I am having until the last minute. This is Haruno Sakura, Hatake Kakashi, Uchiha Sasuke, and Sai. Konoha-san, this is Kazama Kikyo. My mother Naruto said. Kushina smiled widely before turning to Naruto and tossed her a pink scroll. It's for you. Your father was pissed when they dumped it in our doorstep thinking you might be in our house. Kushina giggled as Naruto unrolled the scroll, and in a cloud of smoke bouquets of flowers fell on her feet with chocolate boxes and stuffed toys. Again. Naruto's sweat dropped as well as the ninjas. Kushina shrugged and picked up a heart-shaped chocolate box. To my lovely Natsumi. From you future husband. Idiots. At least the chocolate tastes good, Kushina said as she tossed the heart-shaped chocolate in the air and caught it in her mouth with ease. It's starting to get out of control every time, Naruto said as a shadow clone appeared next to her and picked up the bouquets of flowers and head to the kitchen as she picked up the chocolate boxes and head to the kitchen as well. Why don't you send them flying away? Better yet scare them off half to death like I did until I meet your father, Kushina said. Naruto gave her a deadpan look. You don't mind if I keep some of them, will you? Kushina added as she popped another chocolate in her mouth. No, I will never replace my beloved. But I do wish you spill the beans on why you are here other than delivering these things to me. Not that I don't like you being here, but it's already 7 in the evening, Naruto said as she exits the living room and Kushina followed, stomping on the stuffed toys childishly before following Naruto out of the room. Well, Miss Yum, you know about Kikyo being pregnant and now on her 9th month. Their voice faded as they entered the kitchen when Kushina started talking in hushed tone as if sharing a gossip. Naruto and Kushina was aware that Team 7 was eavesdropping on their conversation as Naruto set the food down in a table before packing a bento for Kushina to take. Kushina was getting off the topic, but Naruto let the woman talk to her heart's content. And so, like this hero guy or maybe Hoshi because, well, they are polite and nice-mannered. They'll be a great husband for you, Kushina said. Naruto looked down as the house quieted down. Mom, if you really want to help, please stop trying to help. I will wait for him. I know he is alive out there. He will come back like he promised, Naruto acted. Kushina sighed and patted her back. Well, that's my girl. Not giving up on your man. Also, I really should be going. I'm still going to Kikyo's house to tell her about your visitor, so she can't just barge randomly here in the morning, Kushina said. Naruto nodded as she walked Kushina out the door and handed her the bento and a few boxes of chocolate. Take care, mother. I wish you home safe. Naruto kissed her mother's cheeks. Take care as well, Muzum. Bye-bye, my little sunflower. Kushina waved as she leaped out of the fence. Naruto sighed as she closed and locked the door as she poked her head in the living room. Dinner's ready? Dinner is awkward for Naruto. She kept her mouth shut and glanced in a while by the window as if waiting for something to burst through. From the stealing glances from the Konoha shinobis, they noticed it as well. A scratching and tapping sound from the window cut of the thick atmosphere. Akai finally showed up, Naruto said as she flicked her wrist to the direction of the window. Chakra strings from her forefingers flex and wrap around the handle as she flex her finger again to open it. A head of a fox poke in before yipping once and growled at the four ninjas. Naruto smiled and nodded, making the vixen yipped and jump inside. Naruto flexed her finger as she let her chakra strings close the window before flexing her fingers and had a bowl of a cooked meat from the counter brought to her and put it down in the floor. Dinner is served, Akai-chan, Naruto said as the kit yipped and dive in. This is Akai. She's my companion, Naruto said as she went back to eating. A fox? Sakura asked. Obviously she's not a cat nor a dog, Naruto snorted, making Sakura frown as Naruto stood up with her meal finish before she started washing the dishes, and there was no other words exchanged by them that night. The next morning Naruto had woken up early, but she can tell the others are awake but haven't left their beds yet. Naruto sighed and stood up before stretching and took a bath. She grabbed a dark gray kimono with white obi before dressing up and tied her now dry hair into a tight bun. Naruto then headed to downstairs and to the backyard. The sun is starting to rise. Naruto then weaved through hand seals. Water style. Light rain jutsu, Naruto muttered. The moist air then gathered to get hers and lightly rained down on the vegetable garden and watering them. She created the said jutsu. It's an E-rank one, just a jutsu used for gardening. Designing it if Naruto have somewhere to go and can't waste time watering them. Naruto nodded before she went inside and exited the house, doing the same to her front yard flower garden before heading inside to cook breakfast. It's already 6 in the morning. Naruto put down the egg omelet, bacon, rice, bread and butter, a teapot filled with fresh boiled water, and settled the coffee and tea down as well as sugar and cream. Breakfast is ready. I know you're awake, Naruto yelled, as she sat down and put a bowl full of bacon and another bowl of warm milk down as Akai rushed to it and ate her share. Naruto waited for her former team to coke down and joined her. When they did, they are already on their uniform. Naruto nodded and gave a low good morning. Ita de kamasu. Then they ate their breakfast. Pardon me for asking, but, what is your mission exactly? Naruto asked. Team 7 looked at each other, then to Naruto, who raised a brow on their behavior. We aren't supposed to tell you this, but since you had letness in your home, we might as well do, but don't be upset, Kakashi said. Naruto gave him an odd look before nodding. There are some reports around here about a sudden spoke of chakra. A merchant had informed Konoha about the sudden spike, and he recognized it as one of the allies of Konoha. He said it was so great that he can never forget it. It's a demonic chakra signature, and Kumo is far from here and Killer Bee was kept in check, so we had one answer to that when we saw your picture. Kakashi trailed off. Naruto narrowed his eyes. We believe that Naruto, your fiancé, is nearby or in this village but did not inform you, Sakura said. Naruto's eyes widened. When did Kurama spiked up her chakra? The seal on her made it impossible to do so. Unless it won't hold off much longer, Naruto thought, then her eyes widened in disbelief. Of course. The bigger the chakra reserves, the more faster the seal weakens. Like the Shiki Fuin. It was strong but is slowly but surely getting weaker every time I feel a spike up of emotion. It must have lozen during childbirth. I wonder if the vixen knows, Naruto thought before she clenched her fist. Of course she does, Naruto thought bitterly. Team 7 watched the woman's facial expression changed, taking it as her reaction on their so-called bombshell information. Naruto looked down with a blank face when she remembered her cover and decided to act. Clenching her fist, making her chopsticks snap in half after that, Akai whined at her mistress's distress. Naruto stood up. Excuse me. I'll heading to my cousin's house and to my parents to inform them. Thank you, do trusting me on this one. I'm leaving now. Come Akai, we're going. Have a good day, Naruto bowed before picking up Akai and disappeared in swirl of orange glitters. That was something else, Kakashi commented. It has to be expected. D-less disappeared without telling his fiancée, and now learning he's in this village probably pissed off Carrot Tops, I said. Naruto barge in the Uchiha household where the family is eating breakfast when she barge inside. Kurama looked up to see Naruto's deadly emotionless face. Something is up. We need to talk. After you guys finish your breakfast, she said seriously as the two nodded. Naruto headed to the living room and sat down. just as Minato and Kushina appeared using the Hiraishin. It wasn't long until the two joined. "What is it?" Minato asked. "Kurama, your seal. Your seal is weakening. The seal on you to keep your original chakra signature hidden. It's leaking," Naruto replied a few seconds later, making them wide-eyed. "What? But I am pretty sure I can't sense her chakra other than the disguised chakra," Kushina protested. Naruto is correct. We got used to her chakra signature, we did not bother with it. I'm assuming it has drawn the attention of Konoha, Itachi said as he looked at Kurama with his Sharingan activated. Yes, a merchant had informed them. It won't be long for them to pinpoint Kurama because we're near my house. Mom, Dad, you need to reinforce the seal. We need something stronger to throw them off. Also, the seal would definitely break during childbirth. The bigger the chakra reserves, the weaker the seal gets. We need to make a new stronger and suitable 1-inch, Naruto said, making the two nodded and got to work. That's weird. I finally pinpoint where it was and now it disappeared, Kakashi sighed. I know, Sakura sighed. Suddenly a spoke of demonic energy caught their attention as they rushed to the direction. The chakra signature is running away from them at a fast pace. The faster they move, the faster their target moves as well. Sai! Kakashi called out as Sai already on it. Ninja art. Super Beast scroll. He drew a bird and got on to try and corner Naruto. They saw a golden blur and orange up ahead. It was Naruto. Naruto, dobe/d-less. Wait! Sakura called up, but Naruto did not look back. Instead, he ran faster than ever. Sasuke determined to catch the dobe. Speed up, but he multiplied himself and spread out. Cursing under his breath, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi send their shurikens and kunais to dispel majority. They were nearing on the cliff. Then the Naruto jump off the cliff and into the raging and crashing waters below. Damn, we can't lose him, Kakashi hissed as he looked down, but the blonde did not emerge. Pretty clever for him to hide his scent by traveling underwater. I got them off our backs. For now, but it won't last much longer. Pretty soon they'll stick around for more clues, Naruto said. And until then, we must watch out for ourselves to not be found out, Minato said as the others nodded. Naruto shoved the spoon full of ice cream on her mouth. She was watching The Walking Dead marathon alone, if you could, her companion Kitsune sleeping. It's already 8 in the evening. Konoha Shinobi hasn't came back yet as she wasn't that sleepy yet, so she had to entertain herself. Run, you idiot! She shrieked, causing her companion to jump in surprise and yawn before leaving. Stop! Don't come any closer! She yelled as she pointed her spoon at the TV. No! Ah! Naruto winced as she covered her eyes. Suddenly, she heard someone broke her door and rushed to her side. What's wrong? Who attacked you? Sakura asked frantically. What are you guys doing? You're blocking my view. Naruto yelled as she shoved them aside and continued watching. Team Kakashi was exhausted. They are trying to track down Naruto, but since they were following a shadow clone, it's a dead end. Tiredly, they made their way to their host where they heard screaming. Run, you idiot! Stop! What are you doing? No! Aha! They looked at one another, then at the door. She's being attacked. Sakura reared her fist and punched the door open, causing Naruto to scream again in fright. The Leaf Ninjas rushed to the living room only to find their hostess watching a horror movie while screaming profanities to the actors and eating ice cream. They sweat dropped at the scene. Natsum-san, good evening, Sakura greeted. Naruto looked at them in surprise before nodding. Good evening to you as well. Dinner is already served, she smiled before a shriek came from the TV, and she went back to what she was doing. They couldn't help but notice how she was acting like their missing knucklehead ninja. After dinner, they excused themselves in Kakashi's room for a meeting, placing a barrier and silencing seals around. What can you say about our hostess? Sakura asked. She's strange, that's for sure, Kakashi simply answered. Did you know anything about her? The dobe surely mentioned her, Sasuke replied. Something isn't right here, Sakura said. When it comes to D-less, something isn't always right, Sai smiled fakely. What do you mean by that? Sakura asked. Sai blinked but smiled fakely again. D-less has a perfect mask, Sai simply said. Care to say it more clearer? Sasuke pinched his nose in annoyance. Do you remember why I was so interested in Uzumaki before? It's because of how he hid behind his mask. You can literally see through mine but not his. Took me a while, but he is definitely hiding his true self. It was cracking and I was shocked to see so many layers when it happened. It was during the announcement of duck-haired Emo to be the Hokage. It was falling and I don't like what I see on his eyes. That got me thinking, I am Uzumaki Naruto's friend, but what do I really know about him aside from the common knowledge? He's an idiot, he's insanely strong, he's a Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi, he's a dead last, he loves orange, is fond of toads, he's in love with ramen, and he's the Yandere and the red-hot habanero's son. Aside from that, I don't know anything, except that he is an orphan and his birthday is the 10th of October. Sai smiled. The three stared at him in shock. You're right. I don't know much about him aside from those you mentioned, Sakura said. Well, it seems we're assuming things then. It's obvious Naruto did not trust us, not even mentioning he has a wife. I think we made it difficult for her as well. Us who drove him away in her house while searching for her missing husband. It's obvious that she doesn't like us, Kakashi said. What will we do then? Sasuke asked. He leaned his back by the windowsill. We need to relocate. We need to leave this village. Something tells me that Naruto is in here and is in here the whole time but did not show up, Kakashi said. Yeah, because we're here, Sakura said. They all look out the window when they spot a suspicious figure by the trees. The hooded figure wire all black and is crouching on a branch. The tree outside that had a perfect view on the living room. They were about to go outside to confront him, but their hostess, Natsum, ran outside. They stopped to watch. The figure jumped down. The two stood there for a minute. Natsum-chan, a familiar voice reached their ears, one that they did not hear for the past 5 years. They watched as Natsum burst into tears as she ran towards the hooded figure, jumping and dove in for a hug while the figure spread his arms and caught the crying woman as he spun her around. His hood had fallen off, revealing yellow blonde hair that was pointing on every possible direction but longer and had side fringe. Husband! Natsum cried louder as she clung into him and hugged him for her dear life. It's okay, Natsum-chan. I'm here. I missed you. Databeo. Naruto soothed his wife, rubbing circles on her back, smiling in relief, sadness, guilt, and love. Beloved, I missed you so much. I really missed you. Where were you these past few years? Why did you leave? Why did you abandon me? Natsum cried louder as Naruto only held her tight. I'm sorry. I don't want people to go after you. I have enemies after all, Naruto said. Natsum looked at him for a while. I'm sorry. I was pregnant when we last saw each other. I gave birth when you went off to war, Natsum began. The team looked at each other knowing that it wouldn't end well. Really? I get to be a dad? Naruto's eyes lit up in excitement. The thing is, Naruto, I'm sorry, but our angel died after she was born. I am so sorry. I failed you as a wife and a mother. I am a bad mother, letting my child die. I'm sorry, Natsumi cried in hysterics again. They blink in shock when Naruto's cerulean blue eyes darkened to aquamarine. It was cold and steel-hard. He blinked and smiled sadly and pulled his wife into a heart-loving embrace. He was crying too as he hugged his wife. I'm sorry, Natsum-chan. I wasn't there for you. If I could have then she would still be alive, Naruto said. Natsum cried harder. You were battling you rogue teammate, that's what I heard. You were trying your best to bring him back. I won't hold it in you. Natsum Sobed? Naruto scowled but sighed as he smiled and hugged her tightly. I'm sorry, love. To think that I choose him over you and our soon-to-be child. I should have come home to you when the war is over, Naruto said. No. You see him as a brother. I can understand that. I just missed you so much. Please do leave, Natsum clutched into him. Naruto stayed silent. Bangs covered his eyes. Naruto-kun? You're staying, right? Natsum asked desperately. I'm sorry, Natsume-chan. But I can't. I have other things to do, Naruto sighed and looked at the frozen Team 7, then turned his attention back to his wife. Natsum shook her head. No. I just got you back. You can't leave me. Please don't, Natsum cried as she clutched into him. I love you. I'm really sorry, but I can't stay. I promise to come back. Databeo. Naruto smiled. Natsum vigorously shook her head. No. Don't, please. I'm begging you, Natsum cried. Naruto smiled sadly and kisses her in the forehead and rested his on hers. I will come back. I promise, and I never go back down on my word. I am telling you this, and I wanted you to trust me as your husband. Wait for me a little longer, all right, Databeo? He gave her a foxy grin and hugged her one last time before disappearing in a flash.
Naruto Koen.
You baka! Natsum fell on her knees and wailed loudly. We should leave this place now. We're only bringing pain of Natsum-san. Us being here is straining their relationship. Sakura said. Sasuke looked away and clenched his fist. Is it because of me that the Dobe wasn't there to see his child? Is it because of me that this is happening to him and his wife? Sasuke looked out the window at the woman crying in grief and loneliness. We should tell Tsunade-sama about this. Natsum-san is to never be bothered again, Kakashi said. The Team 7 nodded. You can easily beat Koyuki's acting skills. That's some act you got there, Kurama smirked. Naruto rolled her eyes but shrugged. It was amazing. I feel like I was watching a soap opera live. I even cried. Tebane. Kushina wiped her tears using Minato's handkerchief. You did well. If I haven't know about the plan, I would be terribly convinced. Itachi smiled and poked Naruto's forehead. I just hope it's enough to drive Konoha away from out here, Minato said. They nodded. Naruto in her disguise sat down on the couch. In her hands is a picture frame of her and a clone transformed into Naruto. Their age was 14 in the picture, and Jiraiya stood behind the two blushing kids with a grin on his face. Naruto was going for another guilt trip for Team 7. She's going to use emotion and tears to drive them away. Kakashi came downstairs followed by Sai, Sasuke, and Sakura. They saw Natsum absent-mindedly stroke the picture frame while she looked like she was thinking about something the way her eyes glaze over. Akai nudged her master, feeling her gloomy aura. I'm fine. Akai. He will come back. When he's ready, Natsum smiled sadly, wiping the tear on her face away. She looked at their direction. Startled, she stood up and hastily wiped the tears away. Is there anything I can help you? Naruto asked, holding herself from saying, Databeo. Natsum-san, we should be leaving now. You see, our target had changed location. Kakashi smiled. Naruto paused as she stared at them, then to the picture frame on the corner of the room. The picture of Team 7 with Yamato and Sai after the war. Why do you want him back? Naruto asked. He's our friend. Of course we want him, Sakura answered without hesitation. Naruto could not help but changing her smile into a frown. You already drove him away. Isn't that enough? Naruto asked, displeased, dropping her sweet facade. It's not our intention, What? You're going to retrieve him and take advantage of his kindness once more? Haven't you done that already? How many years was it? I remember correctly, it was even on your academy days, so 14 years, I think. 14 years you have taken advantage of the fact that he has no one and cherished friendship. He considered you all his family. Family that did not even care for him. He sacrificed everything for that damned village, his happiness, his freedom, his loyalty, and what did it give in return? Enmity. And Konoha wasn't even satisfied, crushing his dreams, and the only thing that pushed him to rise to the top only to get pushed from the platform and fell hard. Naruto let her hatred and disgust show on her face. Her tears keep on falling. Good thing she put on some waterproof makeup. We did end. Shut your mouth. You, a teacher that couldn't even teach his students well and show favoritism, not wanting to face Naruto because he looks like his father. Well, aren't you a coward? And look what that favoritism lead to, a hole in the chest from the Chidori on his 12-years-old student. You may have been there after 3 years, but you missed 12 years of his trust. Naruto spat at Kakashi, then turned to Sakura. And you're the worst. I am disgusted with you, using his childhood feelings to push him to retrieve the traitor. Such a dirty thing to do, and you're a kunoichi. Disgusting and shameless. Who do you think you are, Cilia-born bitch? What standing does your clan have to use the Prince of Uzushio as your personal punching bag? Using him to vent you anger? What, because he's the dead last and is an orphan? I am too. Try and hitting me. I dare you. You're nothing but a girl who has smart but can't do shit. You did not even say thank you for bringing Tsunade back to the village in which you ran to and begged for apprenticeship. If it weren't for him, Tsunade won't step a foot in the village, and you know what that cost him. Almost died because of Kabuto throwing his life away to save hers. And what did you do, using your monstrous strength to beat him up? Did you know his rib had broke and stabbed his lung and slightly wounded his heart? If it were for Kyubi, he would have died. Not to mention you cracked his skull every single fucking time you hit him. And how frequent did you hit him? 6 to 10 times a day. Tell me, if it was the Uchiha, would you dare? No, because you showed favoritism once more. Naruto laughed bitterly as she sneered. And don't even get started with you. Avenger, you say. Killing your brother, you say. And then you killed your biological brother, Oi, to get disappointed and guilty. Someone was there and was like a family to you. Aren't you just allergic, killing those close to you? You did not even hesitate to deliver killing blow on him. Now you are next to your other teammate. Why aren't you digging their heart out, huh? Favoritism. What a fucking bastard. I have no idea why he tolerate you so much. Such a bastard whom had a dark heart. You don't deserve his attention. None of you does. But of course he was a fool. He had longed for family, and you, stepping on fresh wounds, even insulted him. Having your family killed in front of you might be better than not knowing at all. At least you won't be thrown out in the orphanage when you were 3 and lived in the streets for an entire year, digging on the garbage to find food and had to sleep in the shabby and unstable shed during winter, worrying every day that it might fall because of the wind and snow. You don't understand what pain, suffering, and loneliness are. He had experienced it, every single fucking one of them. Tell me, if it were you in his shoes, those who had been at least had warm home and food in the table as well as friends and family, can you survive it? I know you won't. A Jinchuriki's barely survived. Eating 1 moldy bread a month is too much, almost none at all. Once again, if it weren't for the Kyuubi's chakra, I am afraid an Ubmark Thumb's tone would be his fate. And when the massacre happened, everyone pitied the boy who has it all. Isn't that funny? They are fueling the flame to someone who would later desire to destroy that village and who took the blow and protect. The boy they scorned, giving false praise, and after everything was solved, once more thrown aside for the Uchiha that was a traitor. Favoritism. I hate that fucking word. I hate that to death. Naruto gritted her teeth so harshly as she leaked her bloodlust. I have no enmity with Sai. He never really brothers with Naruto, but he never stood up for him either. I can see him as an ungrateful shit, nothing more. All of you better get out and don't come back. Because of Konoha, my husband could not return home. Because of Konoha, my husband could not make it back to at least have a glimpse of our daughter. Because of Konoha, my father figure died in the hands-on pain in which he turned out that way. Because of Konoha. Because of Konoha, they produced Uchiha Madara. And because of Konoha, my husband suffered. Get out. If you show your face to me once more, I will become another Uchiha Madara and destroy Konoha. See if you can stop me. I would certainly won't be stopped by him. He would support me, that I am sure. At least I would get some revenge and justice for our suffering and the lives of the love once I lost. Isn't that right, Avenger Uchiha Sasuke? Isn't that your view? Naruto was seething in anger. Now out. Get out. Naruto threw them out of her door, throwing the photos of Team 7, the photos that had to do with Konoha, on the ground. Causing it to shatter, Naruto ripped the Shodame's necklace from her neck and threw it on the ground and slammed her door hard. The Team 7 took it all in without opening their mouth. Thunder and lightning could be heard as rain poured. Tsunade stared at the necklace Team 7 had brought back. She just had Team 7 dismissed after their report, repeating every word Natsume said. First she was surprised, but she saw a photo of Naruto and her that Team 7 brought back. No, not Team 7, but Team Kakashi. There is no Team 7 if there is no Naruto. Tsunade now knew why the brat had left. Almost the same reason why she left Konoha years before. He had enough. Lost his daughter, from Sakura's report, whom had checked on Natsume while she was asleep. The woman's vitality is faint, so it's probably impossible for her to have another child, and that would probably a big blow on Naruto, who value family that he value himself. Again, Naruto had set it up as she used her seals, so how could Tsunade keep persuading the blonde? He must have hate Konoha. No, he hate Konoha. Despise it even, just like her. Tears dripped down Tsunade's eyes as she stole the picture of Naruto. In it was him, looked very happy next to an equal happy Natsume. She was stroking her belly, but it was still flat. He was lovingly wrap her around her arms. The wonders of Shadow Clone and Transformation Jutsu. Call Team Kurenai, Team Guy, and Team Asuma, as well as Irika in here. I need to tell them, Tsunade said. Shizune nodded sadly as she left. I guess someone whom had the heart of gold could hold hatred and enmity as well. Who am I kidding? You were too forgiving that it was the cause for people taking advantage of you, and now, You finally snapped, Tsunade sighed as the door opened and said team entered. What is it, Tsunade-sama? Ino asked. It's about Naruto. Tsunade began. Everyone perked up because of this, especially Hinata. I want you to stop searching for him, Tsunade said. This caused the others to protest. Why? Hinata asked. Tsunade placed the picture on the table. Naruto had enough of Konoha. While he went on a training trip with Jiraiya, they meet an aim kunoichi named Natsum. Apparently, Naruto and Natsum were well acquainted. When Jiraiya died, they got married. Tsunade said. Hinata looked jealous as everyone could see it. She was pregnant when Naruto was busy battling with the Akatsuki. She got birth after the war ended, but he fought with Sasuke that time, so he wasn't there. Who knew that the child was already dead when she was born? And looks like she can't have any children in the future. This elected gasp on the people in the room. They are starting to see the picture of what happened and what causes his disappearance. However, he did not return to her. He had too many enemies. He kept a secret of her from Konoha and was not willing to drag her into this mess, with Konoha constantly searching for him. He did not know that she was pregnant and that the child died while still in her womb. That woman, Natsum, held deep hatred in Konoha but did not do anything to be a threat. She simply lived quite far from here, Tsunade said. What happened then, Tsunade-sama? Tenten asked. Kakashi reported that Naruto visited once but only stayed for a few moments before he left. And of course, their presence there was straining Naruto's and Natsum's relationship. She had let Team Kakashi stayed with her for a week without doing anything until that night Naruto showed up. The next morning, she threw them out with a warning to never come back and ruin her and her husband's life, Tsunade answered. If Konoha would not bother her, then she would not be a threat, Shikamaru said. Tsunade nodded. Excuse me. Hinata stormed away to cool off. Tsunade-sama, I would like to resign as well, Irika suddenly said. This shocked everyone. Irika. Tsunade blinked. I also had enough, Tsunade-sama. I could not stand it anymore. Walking in the streets, hearing them talk badly about Naruto when he was here, and it even took them 25 years to fully accept him and praise him to the heavens. That was after he left for 5 years. He is like a son to me, and even if I am a ninja, a human can take so much. I can't stand seeing those people beating him up for no reason. Began paining him. In the academy, the teachers are even worse. I am glad to serve you for many years, Tsunade-sama. I, Yumino Irika, Chunin instructor, am resigning and wish to leave the village. I am sorry, he sighed as he placed his headband on the table and his Chunin vest before he left silently. Everyone was so shocked seeing Irika like that, but they could understand. After all, Irika had practically raised Naruto. Meanwhile, with Irika, he knew that it was a ploy. He can see Naruto's handiwork for miles. That story was good, but he knew that Natsum is not real and there is no marriage. He had stared on the picture for a very long time and he finally figured out. He knew Naruto like the back of his hand. And now he's going to find his favorite knucklehead student. Irika then left, heading towards the village Team Kakashi had been to. He would find Naruto if it's the last thing he would do. Naruto hummed as she pulled the weeds on her garden. She did not wear any disguise, her head itched with the hair dye. Besides, she had seals on her territory in which was screaming at her as they were suddenly triggered. Naruto stood up in alarm, and before she could do anything, Irika landed in front of her, making her yelp in surprise. God Almighty, she suddenly said as she stumbled in surprise. Irika-sensei? Naruto paused as she stared at the man in front of her. Yumino Irika, gone with the usual Chunin uniform and now wearing casual and loose civilian clothing. Naruto, you idiot. How could you leave without telling me? Don't you know how worried I was? Irika began scolding the girl as he booped her in the head. I'm sorry, you know. I don't want to tell you because I am afraid that you'd be pulled down with me. Naruto lowered her head like a docile child, making Irika sigh. Irika had raised Naruto after getting to know her when she was a child. She would be heartbroken every time the man finds out about her being tormented and beaten. He would oftenly drag her out of trouble before it even gets started. However, other Chunin like that bastard Mitsuki would profusely distract and held Irika back from interfering, in which the man would explode and give them tongue lashing. Irika, only being Chunin, did not make others look down on him. After all, everyone knew that Irika could had the demon under his control, but the Chunin would give a glare and yells that worth of Ibiki's approval. There are many times that Naruto had tried everything to keep Iruka from storming to the Hokage office and throw a tantrum. It made her felt warm. Iruka is family, that is why she never left the village. It is because of Iruka. So when she left, she feared that Konoha would send Iruka to personally drag her back. Even as a child, when Naruto gone off to prank an unfortunate soul with Jonin and Chunin as well as Anbu running around to catch or search for the boy, Iruka admired Naruto's tactics, maneuvers, stealth, and how he had hid while wearing that orange monstrosity jumpsuit. It would take a few hours before an Anbu would come to Iruka to find and tie up the boy. For some reason, Naruto wondered, Iruka always finds him under half an hour searching the whole village, even less than half an hour as years go by. And Naruto was not in shock when the man found her location. However, she was surprised by how quite, under her estimation, Team Kakashi must have arrived 4 days ago, and a trip from Konoha from the village she is currently on takes 5 to 6 days. Naruto had a silly suspicion that the man had placed a tracking seal on her or had distance and low-action radar on Naruto. As of reading her mind, in truth, the blonde had what she was thinking written all over her face. A hard habit ever since young. I know it is you, Naruto. I know it's you even if you use transformation jutsu. I lived with you for far too long to not recognize a plot orchestrated by you, Iruka sighed. I am only doing it to protect myself and my family. Iruka-sensei, I am very sorry. I caused you to feel distress for me. I can't thank you enough for what you have done. I wanted to take you, but I could never separate you from your job. You love your job. I cannot simply be selfish and take you with me away from that damn village. Naruto burst into tears as she ran up to hug her father figure. You knucklehead. You're like a daughter to me. From my job and the village, I would pick you first. What village? What job? Those are not important, Iruka said as he patted Naruto's back in comforting. Iruka-sensei. No, Iruka-Tusan. Thank you, Naruto smiled as she wiped the tears from her eyes. You knucklehead. Iruka smiled as he patted the blonde's head. I have so much to tell you. But first, a family dinner would happen later. I still need to cook and get ready for it. Hope about living here with me, Iruka-sensei? We could set up a dojo to teach self-defense for the people in this village that pays low and affordable, and slowly make it into a school. The kids need not necessarily become a ninja, but enough to have knowledge how to defend themselves, what is chakra, and the history of Elemental Nation. Naruto offered as she motioned Iruka to enter her house. Optimistic as always, Iruka chuckled. You're living with me. It's high time that I would pay for your patience and generosity you gave me for years. Plus, this place is quite far from the village by civilian standard, Naruto said, before she talked about what had happened, while she and Iruka cooked dinner together. Iruka was dumbfounded to the fact that the tempura almost got burned when she had the news of Kurama in human form and a girl married to Itachi and had a child with another one on the way, as well as Kushina and Minato alive. But he was happy for the blonde. No one else deserved it other than Naruto. It's the least this world's unfairness would do to make up with her, Iruka thought. So Naruto, aren't you going to remove your transformation jutsu? Iruka asked as they both washed the dishes. Naruto paused. I thought you figured it out already, Iruka-sensei. I turned into a girl. A real girl. Yeah, it sucks, especially when the time of the month visits, Naruto deadpanned. Iruka paused before he smirked. Serves you right. It must be the gods punishing you for that ridiculous jutsu you made. Iruka teased lightly, making Naruto huffed. Hey, that ridiculous jutsu knocked out many of my opponents, including the funder of chakra, Utsuki Kagaya. It created an opening for me to land a punch on her face. Not even Sasuke team's dumb Sharingan could do. Tabeo. Naruto gloated. Iruka face faulted but sighed. You knucklehead, he laughed lightly. Hey, Iruka? Thank you, Naruto smiled. It's no problem, Naru Imuto, Iruka smiled. Kurama sat down as she ate some dango, occasionally bite some on Itachi's. She could not help but feel like something is off, though she shrugged it off. Kachan, Tusan. Some kids bullied me this afternoon, Mamuro said. Making the two looked at him. Mamuro lowered his head, preparing for a scolding as he continued. It was okay if they would blow their stupid remarks at me, but they were bullying some weak kids as well, so I punched them. I think I broke a rib on one of them and forehead lost some teeth or 2-inch. Mamuro finished. Wahahaha. That's my boy. Yeah. Show them that we are not someone to be messed around with. Show them who is superior. Don't let me lose face. As the prince of the demon world, you must be cool, strong, and dominant. You don't let this pesky humans push you around." Kurama gleefully clapped her hands as she pulled the surprised and embarrassed kid in her arms. "I don't think we should encourage him to beat up around those kids. Being an Uchiha and half a demon, he would naturally be above others. It's in his genes to do so. But can't be that much violent," Itachi reprimand, making Kurama glare at him. "So what? Let his instincts run free." Kurama argued. "No, as I can see that he would be spirited and free will, I would not stop him for doing that. But I would put my foot down when he would run around running wild and being unrestrained. It's not that I am being strict, but he must be balanced with his personality," Itachi said. Kurama huffed as she nuzzled her nose on her son's hair. Her fox ears twitched on top of her head. She leaned on Itachi's chest as the Uchiha feeds some dango to his wife and child. "Let's try it then. It's time you start training, Mamoru," Kurama hummed, as she let her 9 tails wrap around her family to keep them warm. The next morning, Naruto went to town, buying some food to restock, since it's already autumn and winter will come soon. She smiled and greeted everyone she passed by, tugging at her yellow cloak closer as chilling breeze blew by. She felt someone was following her, but she kept calm as she approached a store to buy some fishes, fruits and other spices, and tea leaves, lots and lots of tea leaves. While on the way, she could feel eyes staring at her vanished, making her relaxed a bit. When she entered her house, she placed the grocers on the cabinets and fridge that has preservation seals on them, smiling in satisfaction seeing them all full. Now, all is left is to harvest her pumpkins in her yard, and she is ready for winter seasons. So, removing her hair dye and contact lenses, she pulled her blonde hair into a messy ponytail, letting her bangs and fringe framed her face, and got her apron, gloves, and garden scissors, as well as her basket, and head out, humming a small tune as she harvested her vegetables. When she put them on her basket, she effortlessly carried it. "Naruto?" A cold, surprised, and disbelief voice called out, making Naruto froze. The basket in her hand dropped to the ground, startled as she was found out by an outsider. She stared at those eyes that she was so familiar. She clearly saw unreadable emotions swimming on those usually stoic and emotionless orbs. But now, damn, what are those seals doing? They are not doing their job, Tabeo. "Is that really you?" The owner of the voice asked again. Yes, it's me," Naruto answered slowly as she gazed at the person she knew too well. Breeze blew by, making both their hair and clothes sway in the wind. "It's really me," she confirmed as she locked gazes at the person that was slowly walking in front of her. "Kankuro?" Naruto was startled when she saw the sand puppet master and the brother of her best friend, Gaara. "So the intel really is correct," he said before he delivered a punch on her head. "Ow! What did you do that for?" Naruto gritted her teeth as she rubbed her head. "You made us worried, you moron." "Disappearing just like that," Kankuro snorted. Naruto rolled her eyes as she picked up the fallen vegetables and basket. One could take so much. Gaara had reached his limits long ago before the pent-up anger and hatred was released. "I may smile and act like nothing happened, but that does not mean that I do not feel other emotions other than happiness and contentedness. Shouldering so much for years now, it's bound to crush someone," Naruto said. "I see. You are so strong and unbeatable, from zero to hero. Like nothing could sway you other than Sasuke. It made me forgot that you are also a human," Kankuro said. Naruto only smiled. You are alone?" Naruto asked. Kankuro nodded. "Gaara sent me here to check. What should I tell him?" Kankuro asked. "In other words, this is none of my business, but from the two of you and my brother, who should I choose?" "Tell him nothing," Naruto said. Kankuro sighed before he waved farewell and left. "Do you think he would tell?" Irika asked as he walked out of the house wearing black sweater and blue pants. "I am not sure. I don't know Kankuro that much, but he knew how to keep his mouth shut," Naruto said as she walked in. 3 weeks have passed and snow started falling. Naruto headed to the woods and started collecting loads of firewood in which she forgot to collect earlier. Just as she headed back, the pile of twigs, branches, and stumps was lifted from her arms. She blinked and stared at the firewood and spotted something. She whirled around. "Gaara?" she called, and lo, The former Jinchurikis of Ichibi Shikaku and current Kazekage step out from the shadows, still wearing his maroon robes and the oversized peanut-like gourd strap on his back. He looks exactly like the last time Naruto saw him, which was almost 6 years ago, though his hair is more longer and more spiky as well as messy. He did not wear any cloak, so the snowflakes gated on his hair, shoulders, and gourd. Naruto. Gaara walked forward. Did Kankuro tell you? Naruto asked. Gaara closed his eyes for a moment and then opened them, evaluating Naruto. He didn't. He haven't said a word. It made me suspicious, of course. I had placed Baku in charge of Suna for a while and came here to check it myself, Gaara answered after a few seconds. I see. Come, let's talk to my house. There is bound to be a blizzard in a few hours, Naruto said as she led Gaara back to her house. Irika is out with some friends. Make yourself at home, Naruto said as she headed to the basement to pile up the wood she collected. She put her cloak away as she started boiling the water to prepare for tea. You're not in disguise, are you? Gaara asked as he sat down and watched as Naruto busied herself. No, actually, it was a funny story, Naruto said as she leaned on the counter and waited for the water to boil. Kyuubi is no longer inside you. I can't sense him, Gaara stated. Naruto smiled and nodded. That is true. I wanted to let Kurama out, but it cost the both of us. Our genders, Naruto said as she gestured her body. I see. Gaara looked not that surprised. Naruto poured the boiled water into the teapot and placed it on the tray as well as the snacks and serves it to the both of them before taking a seat in front of Gaara. Don't be surprised that I am not surprised with this news. After all, you are not the most unpredictable knucklehead ninja, Gaara said as he blew softly on the steaming tea and took a sip. No longer a shinobi. I resigned. It's probably one tea of the reasons while I am rusty, Naruto chuckled. Gaara gestured at the photo hanging on the wall. The red-head woman is Kurama. Beside her is Itachi, whom was now her husband. Yes. She brought him back to life along with my parents. Naruto smiled at Gaara's surprised look. Yeah, pretty surprising. I just took an undercover name of Uzumaki Natsume, whom was Uzumaki Naruto's wife, Naruto said, as she took a sip on her tea. Aren't you tired? Gaara asked. The of pretending, hiding, and holding back was left unsaid. I am, but what choice do I have? I think it's best if I live like this, Tebeo, Naruto said. You're living a life of paranoia which is not living at all. Are you satisfied with that? Gaara asked. Are they satisfied? They caused me to live like this. But did that stop you? Gaara asked. Naruto smiled but did not say anything. The two former Jinchurikis just sat there in silence, basking in each other's company. The occasional clinking of the tea cups softly hitting the table could be heard every once in a while. What's your agenda then? Naruto asked. I'm going to find a wife. The council insists me to do so. Many just want to jump in the opportunity, either for status, money, or just plain obsession, Gaara said. So you found an excuse to escape those old cots? What about that Matsuri girl? Naruto asked, amused. She belonged to the third category, Gaara stated flatly. I see. Naruto smirked as she drank the tea. So I was thinking, if you would be up to it, Gaara said, making Naruto spit her drink in shock. Akai, who was unfortunate to be in range, was sprayed. I'm sorry, what? Naruto asked, blinking in shock. Be my wife, Gaara simply said. Naruto was outright speechless. Is this guy serious? You don't just blurt that out of nowhere, okay? You're going to shock me, mute. Tebeo. He even said that with a straight face. Be my wife, he says. Why don't you just ask a random kid to be your child as well while you're at it? Naruto screamed in her heart. This village would be monitored. Planted spies all around to find your real location. This disguise and getaway of yours won't last. You're bound to be found out. While you are now a citizen, it wouldn't stop others in recruiting you. You're going to need a real sanctuary, Naruto. I do hope that you aren't planning on living in a runaway life, Gaara said as he leaned back and crossed his arms. So that's it, you would get a wife and I will get a place to stay. A win-win situation for the both of us. But you should have known that the council would demand an heir from you, right? Naruto raised a brow. Gaara sighed. That is no longer their business. They assigned me to find a wife. Although having a child wasn't mentioned, it does not mean that I would follow all of their orders and demands. But this is the good for the village. Having a spouse being well-treated, safe, and strong would make the villagers feel at ease. If the spouse is sickly or injured, then there would be a reason to kick the leader off the seat. If they could not take care of their property, then how much more about the village? This is a common knowledge to all, Gaara said. So I have been told. So what about this identity of mine? Naruto asked. Gaara could only close his eyes. If you suddenly reveal yourself after the wedding, of course the council would be one of the first to be aware of this. After being revealed of your identity, we would simply say that it is your decision to not show yourself to them and no one can complain. You're one of the strongest ninja in history. That status alone could shut them up, Gaara flatly said. I know, but are you really okay with this? Naruto asked. We treat each other like siblings, so I don't think there would be any problem with that matter. The way we address with one another would not really change that much. Only the view of the people, Gaara said as he stared at Naruto's eyes dead on. Or would you rather be with the Uchiha? You are well aware of his desire to restore his clan and make them stronger. We both know what would happen when Uchiha genes and Uzumaki genes combined results to, Gaara said. Naruto nodded. Honestly, this is very fast and shocking, even for me, Gaara. But what choice do I have? It seems I have to agree, Naruto said before she sighed and stood up to make some dinner. The two did not say anything after that. The next day, when Kushina swung by to pick Naruto up, Kurama is in a labor. Kushina was very surprised to find Gaara there, but it was soon forgotten when Naruto hurried off with her. Gaara stayed at the house. A few hours later, Kurama just gave birth to her second child, Uchiha Mikoto, a baby girl that has red hair, though she was energized a few minutes later. So imagine their shock when Naruto dropped the bomb on them. Naru-chan, I don't think I heard you. Could you please repeat that? Minato asked as he used his pinky to clean his ear. I want to marry Gaara, Naruto said flatly. What? Why so sudden, Tebane? We haven't even met the kid who stole your heart. Or did he stole your chastity that you are so eager to marry him? Is that it, Tebane? Kushina waved her arms around, making both Gaara and Naruto's face turn black. Ka-chan, you have no idea how much I want to vomit blood from the idea you're initiating. Honestly, where did you even got those ideas? You better stop reading novel. Tebeo, Naruto said with ashen face. Vomit blood, an idiom, means extremely upset, offended, or in disbelief to the point of vomiting blood in anger. It's not like that, Mrs. Namikaze, Gaara said as he composed himself. I don't mind really. I mean, Gaara and Naruto had a good relationship and got along with each other since they are genins. They are probably more closer than the Konoha 12. Plus, they both lived the same lives. Irika said. Kurama nodded as well and elbowed Itachi, forcing the poor Uchiha to agree as well. Frankly, he did not care, but from the glare Kurama is sending him. Does he have a room for arguments? You see, Father, Naruto glanced at Gaara before she began explaining of the situation. I was gonna brought this up to you, Naru-chan, but it seems that I worried for nothing, Minato said, eyeing Gaara. He briefly remembered this Kazekage during the war, powerful and bright mind. He protected Naruto on more than one occasion and Minato worked without hindrance together with Gaara, so he has no objections. Fine, I agree, Tebane. But you must treat my daughter well. You hear me, young man? Kushina grinned widely. Her eyes held a dark, threatening glint and a dark aura surrounded her being, making everyone inch away. You have my word, Gaara agreed, mentally comparing the terrifying meter of Kushina and Shikaku. So far, Kushina won hands down. This shows her overprotectiveness and mother love. Naruto decided to come back with Gaara to the sand to settle the trouble first before fully moving there. It was Irika whom insisted on coming, trailed behind them. When they entered the hidden sands gate, they were to proceed without much hassle, seeing as the Kazekage is with them. Your guards are pretty laid back, aren't they? Not even checking their own Kazekage, Naruto said as she glanced at the gate guards. They knew it was me, Gaara simply said. We live in a nation that runs by military and ninja system, Gaara. May I remind you that all ninjas knew transformation jutsu. You haven't thought of that possibility? Then you're a fool, Naruto said. Irika nodded in agreement. Seems like it, however, we have a special jutsu in order for the Kages to be identified if they are genuine or not, Gaara said. Naruto, having a competitive Uzumaki genes running in her veins, did not wanting to be outdone, so she just shamelessly shrugged and told him with a flat tone. You can never be too careful, Gaara, Naruto said. Right? Say, the sun is already setting. The council are probably waiting for you. Naruto changed the subject as they entered the Kazekage building. I'll just wait here outside, you kids can go in. Irika said as he motioned the two. Gaara had his scroll that has his Kazekage robes and hat on, unsealed it and wore it before they entered the council meeting room in which they are waiting for them. Naruto walked in behind the redhead as she ignored the confused people inside, choosing to stand beside him and stared. "Kazekage-sama, you returned," they greeted almost nonchalantly, though their attention is on Naruto. "Kazekage, if I may so bold, who is this young lady?" An old hag, an elder perhaps, said after seeing that the fifth Kazekage had no intention on explaining himself. "My soon-to-be wife, who else?" Gaara asked nonchalantly as he crossed his arm and leaned on his chair like he was discussing the weather outside. Naruto smiled playfully as she leaned her elbows on the chair with her chin rested on the back of her palm as she raised her other hand in a peace sign with her right eye closed and her tongue sticking out, acting smug, arrogant, and cute at the same time. The council stared at Naruto in shock. "Kazekage, it seemed like you found a spouse," Baki said, staring at Naruto. All the shinobi clan leaders knew that this woman is not to be taken lightly. She is standing right there, but her presence is not there. Such high caliber, she doesn't seem much. Too arrogant and ugly, a fat civilian from the civilian council blurted out. Naruto raised a brow, her eyes curved into an amused smile. "Gaara dear, Sunagakura really is a beautiful and magical place." "Why magical?" "Because Suna has a pig that can speak human words. Isn't it mystical?" Naruto sighed deeply, as if she was moved. "The Konohagakure's councils has Banshee that likes to scream out words, but mostly they are to make others suffer ear damage. It's my first time to see a talking humane pig. He has unique character, no? Shameless and clueless to the extreme. If 2 of the 5 main villages has such mystical creatures, I wonder about the other villages. Next thing you know, Tortoise could win a race against the green beast of Konoha in Mizu. Thanks, Gaara-kun, for bringing me here. I appreciate it." Naruto smiled sarcastically as she held her chest, as if she was extremely touched. The talking pig of Suna, the screaming banshee of Konoha, and the possible racing tortoise of Mizu. Who's the shameless one now? Lying without even stuttering. And why does it seem like you're flattering us and making us turn to villain instead? That's some great skills you got there. Just who do you think you are? The civilian council got angry at this remark. "Why does it seem to be that you are angry? I was just marveling how it's so wonderful to be in Suna. Why have you mistaken my good intention?" Naruto sighed as she wiped the corner of her eye, making it even more irritating in the civilian council's eyes. "And to who am I?" Naruto raised her hand and removed her contact lens and wiped away the makeup on her cheeks by the back of her hand, revealing the whisker marks, and her chakra made the dye on her hair come off. "I may be a female now, but I am still me." Naruto flashed a familiar foxy grin. "I am Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto, remaining heir of both prestigious Uzumaki and Namikaze clan, Jinchuriki of the Kyubi no Kitsune, student of the Toad Sage Jiraiya, godson of the Slug Princess and 5th Hokage Senju Tsunade, reincarnation of Ajura, the son of Utsuki Hagoromo, the sage of the 6th path, and grandson of Utsuki Kagaya, the funder of chakra, soon to be wife of your 5th Kazekage, the savior of elemental nations, and of you." Naruto gave them all a critical eye that held disdain as she kept her chin up, crossing her arms as she leaned on the chair that Gaara occupies. "Tell me, lowly civilian council, which of these status can you afford to offend?" Naru asked arrogantly. "People like him makes me sick," Naruto sneered. "Also, this is a matter of shinobi business, none of which you have any qualifications to butt in and enter. Care to give us explanation? I'm sure like every village has a rule in which they have long forgotten. Councils give advice. The Kage has the right to accept or refuse these advice, none of which anyone has the power to tell them otherwise. A Kage rule the village. A Kage uphold and raise the village. A Kage protects the village. And most of all, a Kage is the supreme leader of their own territory. Councils are just errand boys. They are just simple displays. Tell me, what clarifications do you have to show off your arrogance?" Naruto asked, raising a brow, though her eyes, they were slits like a predator. "Even if you are asking questions, how can we answer when the way you look at us like you'll tear us apart if we say a word? I am totally speechless. This girl is too domineering, too powerful, too suffocating, like a leader she portrays she is. Kazekage-sama, What kind of person have you brought in our village? Konoha better fetch this person away, or will really suffer from her tongue lashing. The council thought. Answer. This princess is speaking to you. Naruto roared, clearly showing that she would not let anyone walk all over her. Earlier you spoke out of bounds without being asked to. Now that I am asking you, where have your courage gone off to? Eaten by dogs. Naruto asked, seeing as no one dared utter any word, smirking as she hammered them into submission. Damn you, Kurama. This is all your fault. Your habits rubbed on me too much. Though no wonder Kurama likes terrorizing people. It's quite fun. Ops, Naruto thought inwardly. Na 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 na, Naruto hummed as she walked next to Gaara towards the Kazekage mansion, complete aware of the envious looks shot towards her. It's probably their hands as they were entwined, Kankuro's fault. The accused culprit. You shameless woman. Still dare lump your mistakes on me? It was you who tangled yourself on my wire like a worm on a fish line and hook. I am pretty sure everyone saw that. Got a lot of confidence on marking my name with black paint. No one will laugh at you if you just admit that you are curious. No one would definitely laugh. Say, Gaara, isn't that your student? Over there? Watching us with binoculars? Naru asked with raised brow as she nudged Gaara, giving him a pointed look and glanced at the alley 5 meters behind them. Ignore her. She's been doing that for almost 8 years now, Gaara said. Naruto gave him an admiring look and pity.
You poor soul.
Must have been hard for you to be constantly monitored by your own student. It must be creepy during class session, you know? Yes, she's taking this decade Best Stalker award. She's very devoted with her job, if I say so myself, Naruto said, not even sounding sincere on pitying and feeling sorry. And is that a notebook? And a camera? Man, you're not a celebrity in your past life, are you? Naruto asked as she ran her motor mouth she got from her mother, Uzumaki Kushina, the hot-blooded habanero. One would mistake you for a mute if you don't speak. Honestly, your annoying level meter had doubled up now that you're the opposite gender of the human species, Gaara sighed. What? Oh no, you don't, mister. May I remind you that… And blah 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 blah. Gaara-sama, I think it's best if you don't contradict her. Women are mysterious creatures. Women are always right. Us men supports. A happy wife is a happy life. Take my advice. This is what happens when a woman argues. They talk like there is no tomorrow. You might not be killed in the battlefield, but you'll be nagged to death when your wife, especially Naruto, begin her explanation on why you are wrong and why they are right, Irika said sagely. Gaara raised a brow and took a glance at Naruto, who rambled on and on about God knows what. And where did you hear that advice from, if I may ask? Gaara asked, raising his non-existent eyebrow. From an experienced and brave individual. The yellow flash himself, Namikaze Minato. Irika said. Gaara could only nod and sigh. The experienced and brave individual. I may be the 4th Hokage, but I dare not disobey my wife. Don't take my advice for granted if you want to spare yourself from the nagging the Uzumaki has. It's in their genes. Naruto entered the market and she started buying groceries, forcing the two behind her to carry them as she carried a few by herself before sealing them in scrolls. Completely aware that all activity in the market stopped just to watch them. Naruto hummed as she inspected the apples in her hand, placing them on the basket afterward, and moved to the next fruit stand after paying for the fruits she bought. After that, they head back to the mansion. Finally, the stupid strings came off. It's about time. Naruto smiled widely as she turned to the shadows. Even if you try, I can see your headband glinting in the light. Best come out, you're already busted, Naruto said as if she was scolding a child. Matsuri came out, the twitching in her fake smile, anger, jealousy, and envy clear of her eyes. Naruto could only sigh. Typical fangirls. They would do anything for the power of love bullshit. The typical fangirls. That's because you're originally a boy. How can you even understand feminine feeling? The original boy turned girl. It's not my fault I turned into a girl, all right? It's the seal, the accused seal. I've been wronged. Don't lump your incompetence on me, human. Nobody told you that you can learn seals so easily and used it without experiment first. Serves you right, Gaara-sensei. Matsuri glanced at Gaara, then to Naruto, whom narcissistically checked herself out in the nearby mirror. Did she just ignored me? What a bitch. Matsuri raged inside. Naruto, you idiot. Stop provoking everyone you come across. Kurama, this is all your fault. The two males yelled in their mind. The certain Biju. Shut up. In order for my host to not be bullied, she must be a bully herself. How do you know about a war between women when it comes to love? Hello. I have been inside 2 Uzumaki women with attractive mates. Of course I know of their struggles. It's not my fault she took the Kunoichi lessons I gave her like a sponge. HMP. Irika-san, and this is? Matsuri turned to Naruto, who walked over her, on a thinking pose as she examined Matsuri before beaming a smile. So you are my fiancé's student. I am Natsum. Pleasure to meet you. Matsuri-san. Naruto extend a hand, clearly grinning widely. Nice to meet you as well. Matsuri's voice is uneven as the emotions on her eyes burned brightly. Say, I know I am beautiful and all, but you're kind of scaring me with that look. It looks like you wanted something from me. Sorry dear, you see, I already has a fiancé and I could not give you that opportunity. I am sorry to break your heart, but I don't swing that way, Naruto said sadly as she patted Matsuri's hand as if she was grieving and pity the girl. But her eyes held like laughter and mischievousness in them. What the hell? I am not. You have mistaken. Matsuri tried to explain and clear her name as a lesbian. Not to worry, dear. I will not think of you any differently. I saw you an hour ago following us and seemed to stare at my body. It's creepy, but I can't deny that my beauty would even bend women. Many had suffered the same, so it's not that much of a problem, but you got to stay strong. You will eventually overcome this, Naruto dramatically said as a tear dropped her left eye. Matsuri's almost vomit blood here and there from that comment. This woman is crazy, a narcissistic bitch, and shamelessly lying without even blinking. What good actor? The 3 and the newly arrived Baki, Kankuros, and Temari thought. Natsum, I will make you pay for humiliating me in front of Gaara. He's mine. Mine. Matsuri's roared in her mind. Do not worry, you would still be my fired, but could you tone down the desire in your eyes a bit? It's quite freaky, Naruto said calmly. This desire is not for you, you slut. Matsuri's face turned gloomy and stormy. This woman is good with words, the others thought. That's right, girl. Be angry. I'll make your intestine turn green in anger and vomit blood. I won't let anyone hurt me. You are clearly plotting against me. Bring it on. I can take you on, or else my name is not Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. Databeo. Naruto sat down on the rooftop of the Kazekage mansion, gazing up at the huge and beautiful moon and stars. Gaara, Naruto called as the redhead approached from behind. What is it? Gaara asked. Naruto turned her head to look at the redhead standing beside her. Do you think I am too mean? That I am not me? My actions and words earlier, I just couldn't stop it, you know. Naruto sighed as she brought her knees to her chest and hugged them, resting her chin on her knees. I have been pretending since I turned 5 years old. Smile even if I am hurting, grinning to hide my pain. Be optimistic even if the situation is not salvageable. I force myself to be brash and an idiot when I am clearly not. Naruto let a tear slip from her eyes. I don't understand why my mask just cracked off. I get the fact that earlier I snapped when I got reminded by your people of Konoha. That was uncalled for, but I don't like this feeling, Gaara. I don't like the feeling that I am holding myself too high and look down on them. I am judging them and comparing them. That's not me, Gaara, Naruto sobbed. The redhead Kazekage did not know what to do. And the thing is, even if I don't really feel that much sad, I am crying right now. I guess it's from the piled up emotions I locked over the years. I'm pathetic, Naruto sobbed. I'm truth. I am very concerned about your sudden change of attitude. Believe me that I am uncomfortable at first, but I do find it satisfying that you are finally venting your anger. You are letting loose of that anger inside you. Gaara awkwardly placed his hand on Naruto's shoulder. But it's not all right. Gaara, this isn't me. I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't know what to do, Naruto cried harder. Naruto, I really don't blame you about your actions at all. I do understand that you are very protective and all, And I am glad I am one of your precious people. However, I can't pretend that I like being around your masked self. I prepared myself that seeing the real you would really be unexpected. However, it would give me the reassurance that the grief you felt would be set free. It's not healthy to keep it inside you. Gaara said, I did not want to be something I am not, yet who I am. Naruto hiccuped. You're a person, the most strongest ninja alive, your parents' Sower daughter, your Kurama's Jinchuriki's and first partner, and my best friend. Gaara answered, and your very own person. You can do what you want because it's your life. Isn't that what you told me years ago? So why don't you take your advice yourself? Gaara added. Naruto wiped her tears away. You're right. Thanks, Gaara. Naruto nodded as she looked up the stars. I will be free. No more pretending. The others could screw themselves. But I will fight my way out of your fangirls though. Wanting to take my place and scheme. Naruto laughed. You're worried about annoyances? Gaara looked at the blonde incredulously. No, I'm just worried they'd cry out a river and flood Tsunagakura once I am done with them. Remember, Gaara, this is a battle of women. We may have come to an agreement to marry each other for each other's own gain and benefit, but I will not stand in the side to see my husband being harassed by those shameless bitches. That's a promise, Databeo, Naruto said with fire in her eyes. You do that, but no physical violence, Gaara said, feeling a bad premonition. Who needs fist anyways? I may be my mother's daughter, but I am my father's daughter too, and Daddy loves dealing with people using words. It's fun that way, he said, and I agree. Though I prefer using fists, but I can't. These girls are too weak. Just wait, Gaara. Watch in the side and let Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto deal with them. Naruto said willfully, then you do that. Venting your anger should do you good. I won't say the same on the other side though. Gaara began lighting candles to the unfortunate souls that became the blonde's target. Lighting candles, feeling sorry or pity, wishing you luck to survive the calamity. I'll definitely use my beauty to make them go green. Sakura used to tell me that when you have beauty, you must gloat and not be humble about it. It would make your competitors feel insecure and cut the competition in half. Naruto smiled widely. The next morning, Kankuro, Irika, and Temari are eating their breakfast while Gaara already left for work. It's already 9 in the morning. Suddenly, the door opened and out stepped a gorgeous orange-haired goddess. Her beauty is enough to cause the downfall of the nations. Kankuro spat the milk he was drinking. What the hell? Who is this walking temptation? Is she planning on chalking me to death? Nah. And Naruto? Is that you? Temari stuttered in disbelief. Of course it's me. I am trying to pave my way and keep the fangirls in line, and for Gaara not to lose face. The Kazekage should deserve the best of the best, including the perfect wife. Naruto grinned mischievously. She let her hair down and in curls with a silver wine-designed headband. She wore soft pink eyeshadows and black eyeliner, pink lipstick, blush, pearl earrings, and white kimono with yellow oni and orange sash. There are lots of autumn leaves patterns on the skirt of her kimono and the sleeves. She wore cream brown undergarments. She looked like a fairy that came out of the painting, so enchanting. And mostly, she had a bento box on her hand. Later, wish me luck, you know. I'm going to give Gaara his snacks. Naruto waved as she head off. Naruto walking down the crowded street caused a commotion. With her hair color and shoes clothing that reflects the sun, she looked like a flame in the dark. Everyone stopped what they are doing and stare at the deity that passed them by. The fangirl's jaw dropped and eyes wide as they stared at their enemy in disbelief and unfairness. Naruto, like a vixen she is, giggled mischievously and tauntingly. She walked with confidence and elegance. My mother is one of the most beautiful women in her prime, and my father the most handsome in Konoha. So of course I'd be a beauty. Thankfully, Ka-chan had me learn geisha dances, ways, and movements. Who knew those years of torture would pay off? Got to thank Ka-chan later. Be ready, Gaara. I am dragging you in my prank. Best prepare aspirin databeo. Naruto smiled widely as she entered the Kazekage Tower. Oh Gaara, I brought you your favorite snacks. Hope you like them. Naruto grinned as she watched the ninjas in the Kazekage's office. Jaw dropped. Even Gaara was stupefied. Natsum? What the hell are you doing walking around in? That Gaara narrowed his eyes. Naruto raised a brow. I'm showing off my beautiful body, of course. I am announcing it in the world that I am the best wife for you, Naruto declared loudly and shamelessly. And you, lusting after you Kazekage's fiancé. Have some shame. Naruto pointed at the bleeding noses. Well, you shouldn't show off in the first place. We may be ninjas, but we're men as well. After that fiasco, Naruto head home after she gave Gaara his snacks and promised to come back to give him his lunch. Now, Naruto let a shadow clone cook for lunch while she strolled around, pranking and teasing everyone mildly yet playfully, flashing her adorable and devastating looks that can trample a village. She got away with every single one of them. Gosh, why does she got infected with Kurama's tendency to be playful? Tebeo? Oh, it's almost been forever since I had this fun. Pranking is one of my hobbies as a child. Tebeo, I almost forgot how fun it was. For me at least, Naruto smiled as she walked aimlessly and arrived at the playground before she got abducted from behind, tied up, and dragged into an abandoned warehouse. You guys have no originality, Naruto stated as she was dumped on the chair, only for it to give out since one leg is missing. Naruto was floored with their stupidity. Gaara? How did they even survive on their first mission if they are this stupid? Even I don't possess that IQ at young age. How did Tsunade teach their students in academy? Not only you are ripping a page from a typical clique television and novels, but you are also incompetent. I mean, who the fuck posses eyes of a blind dog can't even see that the chair lost a leg? Why don't I shove you here? See if you don't complain, Naruto rambled. Shut up. You are so annoying. One of the fangirls growled. Again with the cliches, Naruto sighed. Think you're so beautiful, huh? You bitch. Another fangirl spit. I know I am beautiful. Gaara was in love at first sight and choose me. Does that prove that I am more beautiful? If you are better than me, then he should have choose you. However, Gaara know how to pick a whale from a pond of shrimps. I am just too outstanding and stunning to be left alone without a barrier from this tainted world. It's probably because I am too beautiful to be shared with the world. So there is no need to say, I think, I don't like it, you should change it into everyone knows, Naruto said narcissistically. A comical arrows that has, she's right, struck into the gathering fangirl's heart, making it bleed. I said shut up. I can't let you have Gaara. You should step over my dead body before you can have him. Another fangirl yelled, causing the others to agree. If I listen to you and stop speaking as well as kill you and step over your dead body, wouldn't that make me lose face? I earn my face, not lose them, unlike you. You can't even tie a rope properly. Are you even Kunoichi? How did you even survive the war? Naruto stood up and dusted herself. You guys are really shameless. Abducting someone and tried to force the fiancé to call the marriage off. The leftover Baijidama did not create a pit on the landscape, but to the mentality of people as well. How incredible, Naruto said sarcastically. It was not like this was the first time that it happened to her. Even as a child in the academy, the fangirls kidnapped him and beat him up as threat to leave their Sasuke-kun alone. So Naruto is an expert in dealing with this infatuated abyssal pitheads. Once they saw their crush, their mentality goes offline. Suddenly, the door opened and Matsuri walked in. Naruto then smiled widely before she swiftly took out eyedroppers from her sleeves and dropped a few on her eyes. She then dramatically ran towards Matsuri and hid behind her. Matsuri-chan, you really came, and in time too. Even if I rejected your growing affections on me, you still came ahead before my fiancé does. I still do apologies. I cannot accept you feelings. I still love Gaara very much. You won't hate me, right? Woo, Naruto cried. This bitch is at it again? I am not lesbian, you whore. Matsuri roared in her heart. She really wants to vomit an ocean of blood and drown Naruto with it. What the hell? Matsuri-san swings that way? The fangirls started inching away from them. They are buying it. They are buying it. Now time for my escape. Deal with this mess, you little brat. Dare try and intimidate me? Why don't you intimidate Kurama as well? See if you survive. Don't take a yard after giving an inch. Limit yourself. Naruto shamelessly thought before she sprinted out of there. They're actually buying it? What the hell? Matsuri panicked. It's not what you think. Matsuri said. It's okay, Matsuri-san, we understand. It's high time you come out if the closet as well. The truth will set you free, one of the fangirls said as the others nodded. Where did our sister bonds go? Blew away in the wind? You're quick to throw me off board and set course to another direction. This is Natsumi, you are sowing discord. Unacceptable. You know what, I think I should give Kurama loads of meat for her to eat. She taught me a lot and I used it to deflect these girl. Ha ha ha. As expected from the kitsune, Naruto grinned widely before she head to the Kazekage Tower, purposely dirtying her clothes, messy her hair, crying like she had been wronged and running towards the Kazekage Tower. Gaara koi! Gaara koi! Naruto opened the door and dove into Gaara's lap, once again interrupting the meeting inside and purposely crying louder as she did not close the door. You must seek justice for me. I have been wronged. Your supporters does not want me to marry you, does not want me to be with you. Woo woo, I did not do anything wrong. I don't want to part from you. Gaara koi! Seek justice for me. Naruto cried in distress. Nar Natsum. Calm down, calm down. I'll do something about it. Gaara sighed and patted the girl's head. Honestly, Naruto, stop dragging me into the messy you are creating. You're making my headache worse. This is the battle between women. Leave us men out of it. We did not sign up to participate. Wonder what you've been doing today. Gaara sighed inwardly but was slightly amused when he could see a horde of his fangirl outside and on the shadows on the buildings with their binoculars. Naruto out up the act more and wailed loudly. Shameless woman, stop trying to frame us. We're exposing your true colors. The fangirls bitterly swallowed the blood that was threatening to be spat out in anger. I am not an idiot. I'll lose face if I fell into your SOSO traps. Want to drag me to the muddy water? I'll pull you in so we can drown together. Tabeo, Naruto could not help but twitch her eye in disbelief. Is Gaara alright? Putting her with his fangirls, in a sake of assisting the Kunoichi class. Gaara, just how bored are you really? This fiancé is not satisfied. Come here. I promise I would beat to death. Naruto yelled in her heart before she opened the door, and as expected, glares were sent to her. Top of the morning, class. I am sorry I am right on time, Naruto shamelessly said, even if she is late by 5 minutes. Sensei, you are late, a student corrected. You guys hair just too early. Plus, you did not begin your lesson yet, so I am not late, Naruto said with a smile, causing everyone to feel annoyed. Right then, my name is Yukimura Natsum. Kunoichi lesson. Naruto began, after knowing that the fangirls lead by Matsuri would not help her in this task. The first thing a Kunoichi has is a fit and healthy body. In other words, no diet. Naruto said sternly as a few girls shrunk their heads. You need to eat as much food as you can. You will burn the cholesterol when you're training. And a Kunoichi is serious with her job. A ninja is no laughing matter. It is not a place of sunshine, rainbows, fairy tale, and Prince Charming. Wake up. Even if we are at peace, there is still a huge possibility that you will have to kill and stain your hands, Naruto said as she stared at everyone. But Yukimura-sensei, a kunoichi is not as strong as a shinobi. A female student wearing makeup pointed out. You're living under a rock or something. Should I point out Sabaku no Temari, the wind mistress of this village? Or the blood ot habanero of Konoha Uzumaki Kushina? Slug Princess and Godame Hokage Senju Tsunade?
Misuka Shiterumi Mei.
Pink Blossom Haruno Sakura. Naruto raised a brow at the child's stupidity. If they can achieve that strength, then we can too. We cannot be inferior with the men. We women must be superior and have a same standing as man. If you aim to be stronger and have someone you want to protect, only then you can become strong. A woman, especially a kunoichi, who relies on men is weak. If you want to be in the spotlight and be respect, you must be strong. That is what our nation's system is, Naruto declared passionately. Sensei is right. The girls nodded as they listened attentively. Now, a kunoichi's job is very dangerous. These days, we mostly do minimal stuff and some are medics. However, during wars, kunoichis gather intel from any necessary means. That includes seduction. And by seduction, it means you have to spread your legs. Naruto said bluntly, repeating every word Kurama taught her. It was like a lightning strike on these females' head as they were speechless at her bluntness. That's right. I heard from a friend of mine that during the Third Shinobi War, An of her friend had been raped by an enemy shinobi. This caused the kunoichis and kunoichis on training to gasp. That's right. But even then, she managed to gather information even with the condition and the situation she was in. She was left in the wilderness for death, in hopes she would kill herself because of the humiliation. Humiliated and ashamed she was. She returned home and relayed what she found out to the Hokage. That night, she committed suicide. Such a shame actually, she was a good kunoichi, however, civilians could not really understand a life of a shinobi. They discriminate and point, bunch of bastards. They think that we are so easy to bully, throw money in our face and be docile?
Hell no.
Even if they gave us money to last a year or two of luxury, they would use ninjas, especially kunoichi, like a tool, and to what my close friend dubbed hired prostitute. Answer to their beck and call, Naruto sneered as she then turned to the children. So unless you wanted to be captured by enemy shinobi and become like their plaything, I suggest you train and become strong. Only then you can defend yourself and avoid being a wilted flower yourself. Civilians' life is short, kids. Male ninja's life is shorter. Out of the tree, female ninjas are shorter, Naruto said before she sat down on the desk, lopping her left leg on her right, showing off her skin-white thighs. Naruto then crossed her arms, emphasizing her chest size. She was currently wearing black skin-tight long sleeve off-shoulder top, black sleeveless low V-cut fishnet shirt underneath, red flowy skirt that stops above the knee, and black shinobi sandals. She wore black spandex short shorts underneath. Even since staying in the forest village, Naruto did not spend too much time under the sun, other than when she's gardening or training, and even so, it's mostly shaded so her complexion is much paler than her usual tan. Her hair is current on the loose and she wore a black cap that has a red bow on it. She looked like your average teen, and as what typical kunoichi mostly use, quick kill. Not only a few kunoichi I knew, including myself, would use flashy ninjutsu. It's quite easy for kunoichi to win battle by acting. Assassination would be great. Your makeup would be great tools as well. Placing poison on your lipstick, hid senbons on your eyeliner, knockout powder on your blush, and many more. You must utilize your creativity, and you can even go as far as coat your teeth with poison. Of course, you yourself would take the antidote. Hide weapons on your person and take your target by surprise. With the female's beauty, males will fall into their knees, just don't be so obvious. Your prey must approach you first. Hook, line, and sinker, girls, Naruto said as she took out her lipstick and pressed the button. A small needles came out. She took another and the color is green. Another is purple. Now, with your beauty, you must lure your target. One of the best is genjutsu. To amplify your beauty, scent from flowers, sparkles, and fireworks sparks as background. Blur anything else and make sure the target's eyes focused on you. You just be casual and dramatic, Naruto said. Can you demonstrate, sensei? A girl asked. And on cue, a team genins came in. The three are males. Naruto demonstrated, and soon the three genins froze, their eyes locked on the beautiful goddess sitting casually yet enticing on the table. Everything blurred other than her. Sparkles and flower and bubble background appeared around her as she slowly turned her head to them and gave a gentle smile. Can I help you? Naruto asked sweetly. I. The genin stammered, beet red, as did everyone in the room. Gaara and the other jonins and some chunin and academy teachers who were curious watched in the screen, all got nosebleeds, aside from the few ice blocks in the room. Fuck. So that's why she snappled Kazekage-sama. So this is your technique, eh? Crazy batch, we must learn this technique, hurry and teach us. The kunoichis in the classroom thought. There she goes again. Can you please stop making us court death and court you? Even if you are that beautiful, stop sparking out desires. We're itching to have you, but we're not crossing Kazekage-sama's property. Have mercy to us, woman. The males thought furiously. Evildoer. She's doing this on purpose. Kankaro's eyebrow twitched. She's good in acting. Wonder if she is an actress. She's beautiful too, so she's definitely an actress, one in the crowd muttered. Nothing. Nothing. The Genin's team recognized this woman, Kazekage-sama's fiancée. They then bolted out of the classroom with blushes on their faces. Now, any questions? Naruto smiled as she turned the technique on her students. Teach us, sensei. 3 days later, Gaara was finally at peace. No fangirls in vicinity. No Naruto dragging him in her schemes, pranks, and her war. He will peacefully walk out of the Kazekage Tower to head home and eat. Apparently the blonde had forgot to bring his lunch. It was a routine for the Uzumaki to swing by, deliver his snacks and lunch, and cause as much trouble while she's at it. Now it's quiet and peaceful, but Gaara was unnerved by it. While he descended the stairs, he could feel premonition growing.
Gaara-sama.
Gaara-sama, Gaara-sama, I made you some bento. Fuck, I was wrong. Should have known they would not leave me alone. Bunch of pest. Where is the pest control when you needed them? Gaara inwardly pinched the border on her nose. Gaara sighed in annoyance as he got annoyed at the females handing him their made lunchbox. His eyes are stinging at the flower background. Some shinobi on the side snickered and felt pity. Some were envious. Naruto, who just arrived, raised a brow. A kunoichi beside her side. Natsum-san, aren't you worried? The kunoichi asked. Naruto smirked. Me worried? I am not. I am very confident with my looks. Gaara only has me. I will pamper him so that he will not look at any female but me alone. He has me, so why would he look for another? Watch and learn, Aoi-san. This is how you leash your man and keep him in line, Naruto said shamelessly, fixing her hair in front of a mirror before sparkles appeared around her with bubbles and flowers. Gaara koi, Naruto called out sweetly as she walked over, profusely in slow motion. An unknown wind gently swayed her hair. She was currently wearing a red long-sleeve jacket, blue vest, and black-plated thigh-high skirt and black spandex shorts. She wore black-heeled knee-high boots instead and a black choker with a red sun insignia as pendant. She had dyed a few streaks of red on her hair. Her eyeliner is thick, pink lipstick, and a red kanji tattoo of love on her forehead like Gaara's. The scene and attempts of the fangirls earlier did to attract Gaara's attention was crushed mercilessly by Namake's Uzumaki Naruto. She looped her arm around Gaara. I decided that I should cosplay like you today so we can match. Isn't it cute? Naruto flashed a 1,000-watt men-killer smile. You shouldn't really bothered. You looked beautiful whatever you wear. She's at it again. Might as well play along. I don't like the warning look on her eyes, Gaara thought. Let's go home, Gaara. I decided that we'll eat lunch together today and supper as well. It's been so long since we ate together in the dining table. Come on, I made great food. Naruto proceeded to throw dog food, make everyone jealous. To the single dogs, bystanders, making them really want to vomit blood as their insides turned green. Do what you please, Gaara replied as they began walking. Heh. Teachers entrusted their students with their great knowledge and techniques for them to be successful in life. But who says the students always surpasses their teachers would apply to me? The great Namake's Uzumaki Naruto? Come out and you and I will talk about life. Naruto though and glanced giving a taunting smile and a peace sign on the disdainful fangirls. You're doing it on purpose. Crazy bitch. What kind-hearted goddess. What gentle. That woman is a nine-tails vixen. So infuriating and so, damn, I am so angry, need to vent else I'll die out if anger. The fangirls literally leaking out killing intent. One even fainted out of anger and the other actually spatter a mouthful off blood. A few of them are still students though. Naruto 19 points. Fangirls 0. Ha 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 ha. No one can beat me, Databeo. I may have gave up my pride and accepted Gaara's offer to be his wife. I gave up my identity as a ninja. I gave up my dream. I gave up my good-for-nothing village. But there is no fucking way I'm giving up in this fight. Our war just started, girlies. In the battlefield, there is no mercy. Even if this is a woman's battle. We may be pretending, but even then, Gaara is my man. Come and snatch him from me if you dare. Tabeo, see if this young woman will not make you angry to death. Come and challenge me, Naruto thought with a dark smile, creeping out everyone in the vicinity. Should have known. With Naruto around, chaos would chase after her like a magnet. At least it gets lively and warded off those old bag of bones and civilian councils, Gaara thought. Naruto decided to make Gaara cookies, however, the ingredients are all used up and currently she was with Kurama and Kushina as they are heading to the market to shop for food. Itachi, Minato and Irika stayed in the mansion to watch over Mamoru and the baby girl, Makoto, who was like her mother, a spitfire and liked to boss people around even as a child. Pure instinct, Kurama said. Pure instinct, my foot, but she's a daddy's girl. Prefers Itachi more than Kurama. Back to the three women. With them parading, even in their disguise, they took everyone's attention. Up ahead, Naruto almost tripped on her feet when they recognized them. Why can't they leave me alone? Look, I think they are multiplying. Is fangirlism a religion now? Is that even a word in the first place? They are gathering frighteningly lots of fellow worshippers. Naruto halted. I think some of them are my husbands, Kushina and Kurama said, annoyed. And here I thought I would no longer beat them to submission, you know? Kushina huffed. Back to square one, Kurama sighed. Suddenly felt her age is catching up to her. TSK. This is so frustrating. Believe it. Naruto puff up her cheeks and adorably stomp her foot on the ground as if a child throwing a tantrum. Seriously, brother-in-law, Tsunade, Gaara, did you three save the universe in your past life? Your fangirls even followed you in reincarnation. Just how devoted could they get? Naruto almost vomited blood. Okay, you win this round by quantity. Team Uzumaki 19, Team Obsessed Fangirls 1. It does not matter, we will win in the next round by quality. Believe it, the three women head to the market where there is a sale. Clothing and accessories all 50% off. Change of plans. We split up, Kushina said. The two smirked and nodded before they ran towards the mall, jumping over the head of the women and dashed up the stairs before they split up to where clothes caught their eyes. I called dibs on that one. Naruto smiled as she managed to collect lots of bargain clothes. It was a really battle in there. She saw her mother and Makoto waving at her as Naruto quickly ran over. Let's pay for them, then we'll get to the grocery. Kushina lead the way as the two followed. Naruto snickered as she quickly used chakra on feet and glided, as if she was ice skating, towards a certain stall of eggs. Dozens of eggs, please, Naruto told the salesman. Natsum-san. A certain fangir raised a brow in question. What are you doing here? Matsuri asked. Naruto paused and looked at the girl as if she was an idiot. I am buying eggs. This is a grocery store, so it is impossible to shop for heels, clothing, and undergarments, Naruto said. This caused Matsuri's face to redden, anger or embarrassment. Only she would know. How is Gaara-sensei? He's not really that cold, he's just like that. That's his real personality. I hope you can handle him though, Matsuri smiled. Really now? You're saying that in front of my face so casually? You speak as if you are his fiancé and not me. Why don't you storytell about Gaara's biography while you're at it? I am sure you don't even know the quarter of it, and most are probably the facts that everyone knows. This girl, are you enjoying walking in constant haze of stupidity? Because I think your brain seemed to like it, Naruto thought. Matsuri-san, I am his fiancé, not friend. Please, I would not agree to Gaara-koi's proposal of I don't know him. I am not a whore. And could you do me a favor? When you wash up, make sure to mash your rain properly. ITK, it's filled with rust and need to be cleaned to think properly. We can't have you going around spouting and assuming nonsense. You'll definitely lose face. Naruto smiled, cheering inwardly when Matsuri scowled. Though think cooking oil would do too, you see, it will soften and speed the fears up and easy to acquire and use. I have some used up cooking oil. You can swing by and borrow some. I would not mind. Really, Naruto smiled sincerely, smirking in victory as she saw a small trail of blood from Matsuri's lip. Her face is really ashen color. Well, I'll see you later, Matsuri-san. Make sure to scrub your brains well, so it can be clean and not filled with unassuming things. Naruto waved and skipped back. You, ki, emu, ra, nat, su. Me. You embarrassed me in so many people. I'll get you for this. Matsuri gritted her teeth and marched away. Naruto clearly heard it. She laughed and skipped back to her mother. That afternoon, Naruto head to the Kazekage Tower. Opening the door without consent as usual, she stopped dead on her tracks. Natsum-san, what the fuck are they doing here? Naruto's mind almost exploded as she eyed Tsunade, Team 8, Team 9, and Team 10. Tsunade was speaking to Gaara. At first, she was quite surprised when she received the letter. The Kazekage is getting married, so she brought the available team in Konoha Legion aside from Team 7 as they are on a mission. I understand, but I do not seem to get why I can sense Irika's chakra in this village, Tsunade said. Gaara gave a poker face. There is a news about Naruto's sighting nearby my Tsunade, so he came, Gaara answered, not really giving anything to poke at. Shikamaru seemed to stare straight at his soul. So Gaara did what he do best, glare at the Nara clan head. Gaara is hiding something. It's true that Hokage-sama did not ask, and even if she asked, Gaara would not spill. Shikamaru thought. It seemed as if Gaara could read his mind as the glare maximized with Temari and Kankuro, whom was behind Gaara. Okay, alright. I won't talk. Troublesome. Good. You better keep your thoughts to yourself. Nara the Sand siblings thought. Say, Kazekage-sama. Who is it that Y-Niji was cut off when the door opened? Gaara koi.
Temari ne-chan.
Kankuro bala Oni-san. I brought your snacks. Naruto bounced in, opening the door without permission. The Konoha shinobi turned to the person who rudely barged in. They all recognized the woman immediately. Natsum-san. Tsunade blurted out in surprise. Tsunade was surprised. Everyone was surprised. Gaara turned to the clock and almost cursed it out loud. He forgot to tell Naruto. Damn. Now how to fix this problem? Do I know you? Naruto stuttered. Damn you brain. This is no time to go offline. Need help. Kurama's voice sounded in her head, making Naruto sigh in relief. Please do. Naruto said before she felt her consciousness switched with Kurama. Shikamaru had a light bulb on his head before he felt a piercing glare on the back of his head. Glancing to the side and sweat dropped when Temari grinned maliciously at him, holding a kunai on her throat and placed a finger on her mouth as if daring him to say anything. Troublesome. He could only sigh and stand aside to watch the play. Job well done in your stage play, Naruto. I'll give you that, Shikamaru thought. Ah, I remember. You're the Hokage and these people here must be. Those guys, Natsum said as she closed the door. This is Natsum. She is my fiancé. We are to be married in 5 weeks' time, Gaara said, making the Konoha nins freeze. Gaara-san, are you not aware that Natsum-san is Naruto Swan's wife? Lee asked. Natsum scoffed. Konoha nins really does not change after all these years, huh? Underestimating everyone they came across. Seems like you're implying that the Kazekage is stupid, Natsum said flatly. So, Gaara knew yet he's still willing. And you're willing even if you have a husband? Hinata exploded. She was very angry, very angry. Who says reverse harem is not allowed? Moreover, it is not even your business in the first place. So I don't see why you are acting as if I ruffled your feathers, Naruto, who was actually Kurama as she took over, said with that overbearing and challenging smile. You, how dare you cheat on Naruto-kun? Hinata yelled, pointing at Naruto. It's not cheating if he knew and gave permission. Did your parents ever taught you it's rude to point? You didn't grow up in streets, am I right? Kurama smirked micingly. How dare you speak to Lady Hinata in such way? Niji stepped in. Kurama shoot the man a glare that promised pain. I have the right to question her, as the topic is about my husband and future husband. You are not qualified to question my decision. This is Suna's decision and Konoha, even if allied, had no business to interfere. That goes to you as well. Kurama turned to Hinata, quite annoyed at the woman but impressed at her guts at the same time. You unfaithful woman. Hinata gritted her teeth. At least I am an unfaithful woman, not a slut who displayed her assets for the world to see. Who needs your jacket when there wasn't even anything decent to cover it? Are you sure you came from the prestigious clan of Hyuga? An uptight, strict, and dignified clan? You're ruining my eyes with your choose of fashion. Or should I even call it that Kurama, being the narcissistic bitch of a Kyuubi she is, raised her chin. Hey, you bitch. How dare you? I know stepped in. Kurama turned her gaze to her as well. Dare call me bitch, whore? Why don't you come close so I can properly hear you and shove my fist into your mouth? Kurama snorted and ignored Ino, who was fuming. She looked ready to kill Naruto. I will not tolerate my ninjas to be treated this way. Tsunade stepped in. As the Hokage, For her ninjas to be humiliated is like slapping her in the face with a 5-days-old fish. Plus, Tsunade could not tolerate this shameless woman who even dared to time. Oh, now you're using such words? Isn't it funny? Did you even put up that words when the civilian council crushed Naruto's dreams? Did you use that words to protect Naruto from the onslaught attacks from your very village you protect? You didn't, right? I get it. The people here are clan heirs and Naruto was just a nobody. Kurama chuckled, very amused. Naruto-kun is not a nobody. He is somebody important to us. It's you who is a nobody. Hinata roared, clearly that her anger, jealousy, and sadness clouded her judgment and pouring it on Kurama. Well, I got to take that as a compliment. After all, I believe in the saying, nobody is perfect. And since I am nobody, so I am perfect, Kurama said shamelessly, making them all speechless except the Sand siblings who developed some tolerance to her antics. They knew that it was Kurama taking over. They sensed it as soon as the speech pattern formed. You, I really don't get why are you trying to redeem yourself? You all know it's too late. You did not know who Naruto is at all, and yet here you all are, insisting that you knew him, that he is your friend, that you care for him, yet you can't even see through the mask. It's really pathetic. Naruto finally took over. She laughed at them mockingly. The door opened and stepped in Team 7. Naruto gave them a glance before scoffing. They were surprised to see Natsumi there as well before Tenten gave a small summary in hushed voice. You are willing to hurt Naruto? You're married to him for almost 7 years. Sakura screeched. She was very livid and wanted to punch Natsum, but she could not really do that. Naruto is already gone. He won't be coming back forever. Why are you all fussing about that? Is there something wrong with me remarrying after Naruto died? What? You are the top village in elemental nations, and there is an unspoken rule that all village must obey and had been surprised by you guys. So it extended to the live of civilians. What? Want to control me? I'm not surprised, after all. Konoha is infamous for being dogs that bites the hands that feeds them. Naruto sneered. Tsunade looked very angry, and so does Kakashi, but how can they refute her words? They are true after all. You have no right to say those words. How can you be so heartless? Naruto is our friend, and Konoha is our village. Kiba snarled. His expression looked like a pot's butt Tom, black with rage and fury. Naruto is your friend? Ha 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 ha. Naruto almost rolled in the ground in laughter. Kiba always called him dead last, and insults him every time you get a chance. Shino turned blind eye and doesn't give a fuck. Hinata is a stalker and knew some of his experience, yet she has no backbone and just watched Naruto suffer. Sasuke repeatedly calls him an idiot and brings up the fact that he's an orphan and that no one like him. That goes for Sakura, who always beats him up over small things. Kakashi ignores Naruto, which caused him to almost get killed in the Valley of End. Guy, Kurinai, both of you didn't even bother with him, even though you can see that he is suffering. Ino, you are the same like Sakura. Shikamaru never even stepped in, as he always finds Naruto annoying and that not worth standing up to. Choji never even stepped in. Like Hinata, you have no backbone unless it concerns you. Niji, you didn't even came out better than them, as you always suppress Naruto as you knew Hinata is in love with him. You did not approve of him because of his upbringing. And Tenten did not even care. Tsunade, don't even get me started. You are not the only in the world who lost people they cherish with your self-blame and self-pity. You always cuddled Naruto when he went on mission, yet when inside the village you don't care. What the logic in that? You clearly knew that he's been through. You never even show up in his childhood. Naruto was red-faced as she poured out her emotion. Her face was red and tears freely fall once more. Stop it. Calm down. Gaara stood up and walked over, gathering the crying woman in his arms, whom sobbed loudly. You don't know what he has been though, so don't make yourself feel better by putting a front that you care, because it's already too late. He's already gone. Naruto screamed, almost broke the windows as she clutched her face. Pent-up emotions keeps rolling out as she tried to stop her tears, only for more to break through. She clutched more tightly on Gaara's comforting arms. Everyone was silent. The atmosphere is so off. The guilt and self-blame is so thick that you can even cut it with a kunai and shuriken. After a while, Naruto looked up. Her eyes looked dull, soulless, and haunting. It scared the crap out of the people. So tell me, which one are you had the qualification to call him a friend? Step up and I promise I won't beat you. Naruto gritted her teeth. ready to start a brawl. Gaara gritted his teeth and hugged the blonde in disguise closer and almost possessively, shooting hostile glare on everyone, aside from his siblings, in the room. "That's enough, Anata. Let's get you so fresh air." "You need to calm down," Gaara said before he scooped the crying Naruto up bridal style, and did not even bid goodbye as they disappeared in a swirl of sand. The whole office was dead silent before they separated on their own ways to vent their anger or sadness. Hinata gritted her teeth as she poured all her anger out on Niji. They are currently sparring, and Niji is doing his best not to get a gentle fist strike on his head. Hinata-sama is getting stronger, but she's blinded with rage. That is why she still has hold on her stance. But with her aggressive attacks covered them pretty well. But Niji dodged another attack that would damage his family jewel. "Hinata-sama, why are you taking your anger out on me? Hang in there, Niji. You can do it." Tenten, Lee, Kiba, and Shino sighed in sympathy, currently wishing that their male Hyuga friend would survive. They had keep a large distance in the sidelines. "Kakashi-sensei, there is something fishy with this," Sakura said as Team 7 head to the inn. They are sighing. "Does it really matter? If we probe on the reasoning while it's still not ripe, we'll taste a bitter fruit," Sai said. "HN, there is something going on. But what? I don't believe that Naruto would just be gone like that. Yamanaka, give me that bottle." Tsunade slurred as she drowned her sorrows, guilt, and regret in sake once more. It was like Jiraiya's, Nawaki's, and Dan's death all over again. "Hokage-sama, I know you were feeling bad about this. I am too, but you got to pull yourself together." Io held the bottle of sake out of Tsunade's reach. "How can I pull myself together when everything is already into a fine powder and not shards of glass? At least the glass, you can still piece it back and recognize it, but powder is in the whole different level." Tsunade yelled and then hikuoed. "Now quit stalling and give it here," she added before passing out on the floor.
Tsunade-sama.
Aini sighed and turned to the window. "Natsum-san is right. None of us deserve Naruto's care, friendship, and acknowledgement." Ino wiped the tears on her eyes. "Shikamaru, where are we going?" Choji asked as they keep walking. "I'm going to see Temari, you go on ahead," Shikamaru waved lazily. Choji head to the restaurant. "I get it." Shikamaru walked over to the training ground. "All right, Nara, I know you figured it all out, but if you spill a word about it, consider us done." Temari threatened and she stepped on Shikamaru's head. "Troublesome woman. You could just threaten me while standing. What a drag," Shikamaru grunted as he laid down on the sand. "Grr, let me go, Minato. Let me go. I'm going to give them the peace of my mind. Let me go on a rampage, Tebane. How dare they make Muzum cry?" Kushina roared in her nine-tails scary, overprotective, worried mother mode.
Kakukushina.
"See, calm down." Minato struggled to hold the seals on Kushina, whom was trying to break out. "I know you are upset. I am too. But you have to be patient and follow Naruto's plan. No revelation until the wedding day," Minato reassured. "That does not make me feel any better, Minato Baka." Kushina resorted to Irika's big head jutsu with her head filled with tick marks. Naruto sighed as she wiped away the tears. "I'm such a crybaby." Gaara Naruto sighed once more. "I really don't blame you. I guess you're not that much ready to face them. And no, it is not a weakness either. It's just that, for you, you are not that much used to showing the real you. You have a reflex to act stupid," and along those lines Gaara said. Naruto let out another big sigh. "Gaara, I want to vent my anger. Let's create trouble," Naruto said. Gaara was unsure as he nodded hesitantly. "I'm going to regret this." And so, Naruto drank sake to her heart content, becoming completely wasted and acted like an idiot, laughing then crying and started babbling incoherent words. "That's enough. Come on, you need to rest," Gaara sighed and dragged the woman out of the bar, using his sand cloud to take them back to the mansion. "Hataki," Gaara turned to the shadows and stepped out Kakashi. "Kazekage-sama." "Good evening," Kakashi greeted. Gaara gave a nod of acknowledgement. "May I be so bold, Kazekage-sama?" "How did you know of Natsum Swan's existence?" Kakashi asked. "I'm the Kazekage. I don't have to tell you anything, and you don't need to know everything," Gaara answered. "That's strange." Gaara usually just keeps silent and ignored when he did not want to answer, Kakashi thought. With Naruto around, there is no way your habits wouldn't change, Gaara scoffed as he read the expression on Kakashi's eyes. Of course. I am just curious, Kakashi chuckled awkwardly. Gaara shook his head as he shifted the woman in his arms in a more comfortable position. Is there anything else? If there's not, then I'll excuse myself. As you can see, my arms are full, Gaara said and walked past Kakashi without even staying to hear out the jonin. I'll give him a bit of face. I'm not as ruthless as Naruto, whom claws them off. Gaara though, smirking. Kazekage-sama, did Naruto came and visit you? Why is Irika really here? And how did you even meet Natsum-san? Are you aware of her situation? Kakashi suddenly asked. That's none of your business. I am under no obligation to tell you what I know. I owe you nothing for me to answer such confidential question. Why would I betray my friend and answer you? Gaara continue on walking before shutting the door with his sand. Since you don't want me giving you face, why would I constantly offer you? Damn. Naruto's antics is rubbing off on me. As the wedding day approaches, Konoha ninjas did not bother Gaara or Naruto. They stirred clear out of the way, thankfully. Preparations was made. Although the marriage is for each other's benefit and only husband and wife in name, the papers are still legal. Kushina and Minato was going full blowout on preparing. As they had their wedding day, but it was low-key since Minato does not want to paint neon orange paint in Kushina that she's his wife in his reign as Hokage. Not wanting her to be in any more danger if IWA pull a stunt, though it was widely known that Kushina was his girlfriend. Naruto has no say in the wedding dress as well, so she could only stand the side and be horrified as Kushina showed her various of designs. Too big, too small, that would show off my panties if a gust of wind passed by, and we're in the land of wind. That barely covers my chest. Naruto screamed as she backed away. You know what? Maybe we should try a kimono-like wedding dress, Kushina said to Kurama and Temari before they split up. In the end, they had to draw the design. The wedding day of the Kazekage has finally came. It was a glorious day. The people of Sungakure was celebrating and excited. Fangirls were all flooding the road with their tears. Are you ready, Naruchan? Kushina asked as she placed the veil on Naruto that covered her hair and face aside from her cherry red lips. Yes, Naruto smiled, though she was slightly nervous. Anyone can't see what's inside the veil, but Naruto can see the outside. Kushina smiled tearfully before Kurama shoved her aside and placed a ruby hairpin-like crown on Naruto's head that spreads out like 9 tails. You're ready, Kurama smiled. Ah, my baby, finally grown up. Let's cancel the marriage, you are daddy's little girl. I don't care if he's the Kazekage, Minato declared. Shut up. Come on, or we'll be late, Kushina said and shoved Minato outside. You guys are so. Naruto rolled her eyes before she took a deep breath. The wedding is to be held in front of the Kazekage Tower. The area was filled wedding celebratory atmosphere and design. It was quite grand. Gaara was wearing a tuxedo with a tie, looking calm as ever. Suddenly, the wedding band started to play the music and pink and white rose petals rained down from out of nowhere. Kushina and Minato appeared, and Naruto followed in a swirl of feathers. Everyone wowed at the sight. Naruto's groan. Well, the sleeves was a typical Japanese style, but it was off-shoulder. The red belt has red roses on them, and her skirt was like real white foxtails. They were large from her waist to her ankles that sways as she walked. Her veil covered her face but her lips, as she walked towards Gaara with Minato and Kushina by her side. She felt slightly nervous now. Take care of my daughter or else I'll hunt you even to the core of the earth. Minato treated as he was reluctant to hand Naruto to Gaara, but Kushina pulled him by his ear to the side. The ceremony had began. I am too lazy to write the wedding procedure. I now pronounce you, Gaara of the Desert and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride. Cheyenne, priestess from the land of ogres, declared. Gaara lifted the veil and everyone was taken by surprise, especially the Konoha citizens and shinobis. Although Naruto had changed and the whisker marks had started to fade, they could still recognize them. The two stared at one another before Gaara seized her waist and leaned it to capture her lips. Cheers from the ones who knew had erupted. The others was snapped out of their stupor and cheered with them. The Konoha ninjas were stuck on their seats. Naruto is alive. Naruto is here. Naruto is a woman. Naruto married with Gaara. Boom! A large explosion had ripped off the joyous atmosphere. Every ninjas were on guard. How audacious! Attacking with so many ninjas around. Suddenly, A man from the sky appeared. Dark clouds appeared and covered the clear blue sky. The man has white hair, but his eyes were red Rinasharingan. He wore a very family robes. "Who are you?" Naruto shouted. "I am Momoshiki Jin, and I am here for the Shinigami's power," he stated coldly. "We don't have it. Go away," Kurama yelled, holding Mamoru and Mikoto in her arms protectively as Itachi stood in front of his wife and children. "Fine then." He disappeared and then reappeared with a captured and struggling Gaara on a sphere with chains around him.
Gaara no.
Naruto was about to rush in, but Minato held her back. "Naruto, clear your head," Minato said sternly. "Bring the Shinigami's power to me and then we'll talk," he said and began flying away. Naruto snarled as she entered Biju Chakra stage and zoomed towards Momoshiki Jin. "Stop, Naruto. You don't know what you're doing. He's very strong," Gaara yelled, struggling as he watched Naruto blindly charged in. "No way," Naruto yelled and dodged an ash bone from Momoshiki Jin. "If you don't go back, I'll divorce you," Gaara yelled, gritted his teeth as chains wrapped around his throat. "Go ahead and divorce me. We'll get married once more after this mess." Naruto created a Raisin Shuriken. "You!" Gaara was so angry to the point he was speechless. "Annoying pest." Momoshiki Jin back-handed the Raisin Shuriken and struck Naruto in the chest, making the blonde fly away and crashed on the ground bellow like an asteroid. "Bring me the Shinigami's power else he dies." And then he and Gaara disappeared with a Kamui. "Damn it!" Naruto roared to the sky as she punched the boulder away from her. A large shock wave occurred as she regaled her chakra out of fury. Naruto laid in the hospital bed. Although she did not need it, she badly wanted to throw the blanket away and rush towards Gaara, flipping the universe upside down just to find him. Gaara had been her best friend. He was always there. He understood her more than Sasuke did. Naruto knew that she is starting to doubt her feelings. Of course not that she knew, since she only has a few close friends, but Gaara was different. Naruto could not consider Gaara as a brother. She could not see him as that. It did not fit him. He is like a friend, in a sense, something more powerful bond that she could not explain. "Get out of here, Uchiha. This is not Konoha. You can't enter someone's room so freely. You're intruding a VIP room of the Kazekage's wife," Naruto said coldly as Sasuke emerged from the shadows. "Why? You were lying to us all this time," Sasuke gritted his teeth. "My business is mine, and you have nothing to do with it. I have my own will to lie or not. Why should I tell you?" Naruto sneered as she sat up. The door opened and Konoha Legion with Kakashi and Tsunade came inside. "I think you owe us an explanation," Tsunade said. "Me? Owe you an explanation? Who do you think you are? Demanding such things from me? You're seeking trouble." Naruto scoffed as she crossed her arms. "Naruto, you're being selfish again. Can't you see that we're concerned?" Sakura yelled, getting fed up. "That's big words coming from your mouth, Pinky. I'm being selfish? Is that so bad? You guys have been selfish all these years. You guys never even bother to ask me what I feel. You guys were selfish to only think your certain thoughts in front of you. You never treated me as friends all these years, so why do you show it now that I don't care? I don't want your shitty friendships. You guys never even asked me what really want. You guys don't even know why I wanted to become Hokage in the first place. You guys did not even know my birthday. You guys don't even care what's important to me. So don't try and tell me that I am selfish. Even if I am selfish, I am doing it for myself." Naruto roared. Violent chakra exploded from her. "You don't even know I am dying. What kind of fierce are you?" Naru screamed before she clutched her chest. She violently coughed and red blood splattered on the white blanket, dyeing it red. Sakura and Tsunade hesitated but get pushed aside by Kurama and Kushina, whom quickly had the blonde lie down. They were once again surprised. They recognized Kushina, of course. "Are you guys still bothering my museum? Konoha citizens are really annoying. You guys are such a leech. Minato shouldn't have saved that village. We should have let it be destroyed." Kushina roared and blasted them out of the hospital doors. Minato did not even glance at them as he paled past and slammed the door shut. "You guys should leave. Aren't you guys tired? Naruto already is. Why don't you just leave her be? It's best for everyone. It's best for her." Irika shook his head. "Irika, You know about this? Kakashi narrowed his eyes at the scarred Yumino. I do. Ever since I saw that photo Tsunade-sama showed us. I know Naruto like the back of my hand. There is no way a petty trick like that could fool me. Isn't this sad, Jonin Hataki-san? Your mottos are look underneath the underneath. And those who betrayed the rules are scum, but for those who betrayed their friends are worse than scum. Yet what are you doing? You're deified your words yourself. In the end, you're just like the others. Hypocrite, Irika sneered as he walked past them. Bumping Kakashi's shoulder on the way, opened the door and slammed it shut and left the people outside standing, losing face. Meanwhile, Sister Kami, we can't keep doing this. A feminine-looking man with silver hair, black abyss eyes, and elegant black robes finally stood up. His name is Enma. Calm yourself, Enma. Have faith on the Chusen 1-inch, a woman with soft bluish-white hair, golden phoenix eyes, elegant white and gold robes, a golden pair of angel wings tattoo on her forehead. She arrived a beauty that could cause the downfall of the world. Her name is Kami. You don't even believe in your words anymore, sister. Who are you trying to fool? A woman with golden hair, golden eyes, and a beautiful gown that looks like it was on fire. Her name is Amaterasu. Sister Fate, why so silent? Tell us what awaits or hero. Yeah. Heroine, a muscular ND attractive man with ocean blue hair, sharp purple eyes, and black-colored armor. His appearance could make anyone go in a dazed dream-like state. His name is Susanoo. What else could I say? I held the strings of fate, yet I could not see or foretell who goes with who. A woman with bright red hair, sky-blue eyes, and white robes waved her red feather fan gently. Fate is what divine beings and humans called her. We cannot just sit here and do nothing. A man with blue hair, blue eyes, sharp fangs, claws, and blue robes, Sarayu, exclaimed. Do not be foolish, brother. We cannot go against the rules. We may have the power that could make humans submit to us, however, there is still a being far stronger than us. You and I, as well as the rest of us, saw it not just once. This unknown being behind this is clearly much more powerful, much more dangerous. A man with flaming red hair, orange phoenix eyes, white robes with red and gold outlines and accents. Shizuku, Sister Kami, what is really happening? I am in charge of guiding the souls to the underworld, yet after I exit the mortal plane, they cease to exist. Yet during the summoning of the souls for that infernal technique called Edo Tensei, they start popping out of their hiding spot. The technique was successfully cancelled. That's a good news. However, those souls vanished once more like water vapors. Be silent now and let us just sit here and watch, Kami said softly. Helplessness could clearly be seen on her eyes. It's strange. None of us had reached 10,000 years of age. We were created at the same time, knowing our names and what role we should play, yet this so-called rules is doing what we're supposed to be doing. Look at Kami, goddess of creation, but she herself does not even know where in the 9 realms the damn tree came from. It's highly impossible for a damn fruit to skyrocket a normal human and halflings to create a seal strong enough to hold her off for a century or two. Luna, a beautiful woman with glittering silver hair, sparkling blue eyes, and beautiful galaxy-themed robes with a purple crescent moon on her forehead. Calm yourself. I am quite sure that the culprit and its sidekick must reveal themselves sooner or later and gives us all an explanation, Kami said. The culprit, author, and the sidekick, plot. We're just doing our job. We know you guys are not pleased. So please stop painting our names with black paint, okay? I don't know about you, but I am going down there. Shinigami stood up and left. I guess I'll go too to keep her out of trouble. Fate stood up with a smile and left to follow her out. Meanwhile, with Gaara, don't try to escape. If you do, then you can say goodbye to your village. Momoshiki Jin, full name Momoshiki Jinmaru, said with that challenging smile. Gaara just emotionless stared at him, as if he was staring at an idiot. I am after the blah 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 blah. Gaara stared blankly. This man can surely talk. No matter how much Gaara wanted to listen, something was preventing him. His focus is waning, and then pass out of blood loss. The passed out hostage. At least check if your hostage is still alive for the bargaining. What an idiot. Naruto sat up and glared at the window that had a black shadow perched on it. Again, Sasuke. Give me a damn reason why I will not throw you out, Naruto said. Look, idiot. Just give me 5 minutes to talk. After that, you can decide if you kick me out or not. Just hear me out, alright? Sasuke gave a helpless sigh as he slipped in the hospital room. Naruto scowled. Fine, your 5 minutes to talk starts now. Naruto crossed her arms. I did not mean literally dash. 4 minutes. Wa dash. 3 minutes. He dash. 2 minutes. Now you're just pushing you luck. 1 minute. Still not going to the point. Naruto narrowed her eyes. Just listen to me. You dope. Sasuke finally snapped. Naruto glared and keep silent. Fine. You better not interrupt me. Sasuke glared. Naruto gave a mocking gaze. Naruto almost jumped out of her skin when 2 figures appeared in front of her. Who are you? She quickly got defensive. This guy has no presence. They are standing there, but Naruto can't sense them at all. And she's even a censor for crying out loud. You can't sense us, child. We're gods. Even if you're the strongest human in the mortal planes, your ability alone could not sense divine chakra. My name is Shinigami and this is fate, the Shinigami said. Naruto even grew more cautious. Child, you need not do anything rash dash. Who are you to even tell him these things? Who are you guys? Why are you acting like some random parents scolding to a naughty child? Tabeo, Naruto interrupted. We are the goddess, or as you put it, random parents are here to stop you, naughty child, from your possible and grave mistake into following after your husband and jump into a very glaringly obvious trap. Fate said. Naruto frowned. Why are you guys showing your faces here now? You didn't bother when the Fourth War was going on years ago. Naruto yelled. And also, that psycho is looking for your legacy. The heck is your legacy? For someone who had a Byakugan had a hard time finding it, even hidden. Naruto pointed at Shinigami. You lost it, didn't you? Naruto looked at her in disbelief. In my defense, Momoshiki clan has been after it for a long time now. I somehow managed to lose it, I don't even know how, but it disappeared just like that, the Shinigami said. How did you even not stop it? You're a goddess. It's not like anyone has the balls to snatch it out of your hands while you're awake. Naruto argued. Because it was stolen from me. How could I notice that my necklace of eternal life would be ripped from my neck? I don't even know the culprit. And neither did any of the Momoshiki clan or the other gods. Shinigami yelled. I can't believe someone the ability to commit broad daylight robbery in front of a goddess and gets away without being turned into dust. How is that even possible? Naruto was stunned. The rules. I have been wronged. Blame author Sama and plot Sama for dragging me into this mess. I'm just a worker. I'm innocent thief. Since you are here now, you can help me escape and look for your damn necklace. You klutz, Naruto said as she got off the bed. Your chakra is unstable. Momoshiki had profusely disrupted the balance between the sage chakra, your normal chakra, and Kyuubi's chakra. If you use your chakra, it will be chaotic. You'll explode. Fate exclaimed. Naruto gave them a face. Who said I would use mine? I'm sure you guys are coming with me. So why not start becoming useful and let's get out of here? Naruto said WTH da tone. The 2 useless comrades. This girl has guts. Ordering goddesses as if we are her lap dogs. The 2 thought bitterly. I thought we're leaving? The Shinigami asked. You're making me go out on an adventure wearing hospital clothes? Not even packing weapons, food, or money. Naruto gave her a look. The Shinigami sighed and motioned her to hurry up. And so, Naruto entered the Kazekage mansion as if a thief, grabbing all her clothes and weapons, sealing them in scrolls and also robbing them of the food in the shelves, cabinets, and fridge. She grabbed all of her money and then left. The next day, in Suna, it was very chaotic. Screams of "Where is Naruto?" echoed. I don't think Naruto had been kidnapped. Let's worry about ourselves. Someone broke in and stole all the food. This village's security is very lacking. Meanwhile, Naruto is already going on a wild goose chase with the 2 goddesses, searching for a certain Klutz's necklace. So she is searching for the legacy? Perfect. I knew having a love-sick fool Womho will do anything for her precious people is a very easy target and a perfect chess piece. A dark and evil cackle could be heard. Face it, you're just a lazy bastard. You have the Byakugan yet you failed to find what you're looking for? What's the use of it anyway? Gaara mocked from his cell. The humans still can talk. beat him half to death. Yes, my lord. Don't mind the lazy comment, you're also a bastard, Gaara added before he got dragged away. Naruto sat down on the tree branch. So, what is your plan now? How will we find the lost necklace? Naruto asked, opening the water bottle and chugging the water down to relieve herself of her thirsty. We're sending you to another dimension, Fate said. This caused Naruto to choke and cough up the water. Have you lost your marbles? If you send me to another dimension, how will I get back? Naruto yelled. We will get Sasuke to retrieve you back, Shinigami said. Naruto glared harsher. We can do it in sand, you know. Why here in the middle of nowhere? Naruto yelled, getting fed up. They have been running around for weeks now searching for this old and abandoned shrine. This place is the only place the rules cannot touch. No matter what is done here, even if we kill you, the rules cannot do anything to us while we're inside this barrier, the Shinigami said. Naruto sighed and massaged her forehead. Ah, you guys are so. Let's do this, we can't waste any more time. Gaara, I need to get Gaara out, Naruto said urgently. All right, take this bracelet. If it's red, it means you are not ready to come back yet. If it's green, then you can come back and a portal will appear, Fate said. Are you guys sure this is not a scam? What if I can't find the necklace there? Naruto asked, staring at the bracelet in her left wrist. It's made of rose beads. Even if you can't find the necklace, you will find a clue and the answer, Shinigami said. Naruto tilted her head in confusion. Answer to W-. Oh look, it's sunrise. Goodbye. Have a nice trip. I heard it's unpleasant, Fate waved as Naruto got dragged to the shrine with an unknown force. The hell is this? Meanwhile, a certain author is writing a new chapter for I Give Up, chapter 25, when her phone is not working anymore. Seems the screen had frozen. You see, author San is planning to send her to another Naruto dimension. The one where Naruto became the apprentice of Shinigami, and since he's an apprentice, he must have a lot of things he knew regarding about the necklace of eternal life. The lights were flickering on and off. It's already 9:47 in the evening and author San is still writing while wrapped around the bundles of her warm blankets and a Rilakkuma bear as a pillow. Her headphones blasting the music played in her laptop. Looks like my laptop is acting crazy again. I did not feed it but electricity. Author San muttered and blinked when her laptop turned off. The lights turned off as well. Oh, power's out, she sighed and snuggled in more at her warm and comfortable position. It was currently raining hard and lightning and thunder flashed and roared in the sky as if both wife and husband fighting. Exclamation point. She blinked when her laptop started up again. Author San shrunk back when her laptop began vibrating and the screen. It seems like someone is banging against the other side. Author San, frightened. When she peeked back, she found a video of female Naruto poking on the screen. The power is back again, but her phone is out of battery. So author San charged it and turned back to the video. Wow, the cosplayer here is a genius. She really looked the part, author San said in admiration. You are talking to me? Naruto asked from the screen. Author San paused. Ugh, it's probably a coincidence. I haven't opened any video chat from Skype or Messenger. You can't possibly be talking to me, are you? Author San asked. I can hear you. And what is video chat? Messenger? I see no birds around you. Skype? What's that? Naruto asked, curious and confused as to why the silly girl in front of her, or more like behind the screen looks. She looked very stupid, no questions asked. The stupid author. You're the stupid one. Your boy counterpart is the stupid one. Is this how you treat your mother? You may have come out from Kushina, but I create you from the dimension you are from. Show some respect to you, mother. Author's face darkened when realization hit her, like how the lightning strikes the pot of newly planted yellow bells in her backyard. Author San just meet her own daughter. What should I do? Need urgent help online. You're not supposed to be here talking to me. You're supposed to be in another dimension, Author San said, frowning. Then tell me how to get there fast. I still need to save Gaara. Naruto yelled, punching the screen only to retract her first and waved it around in pain. I have seen this scene before, but the name is to be changed to another certain emo duck-haired Uchiha and you get the scene from canon, Author Sen thought. Listen, Naruto, I know why you are here and sadly, I can't help you. Even I still have no idea where the necklace is. I haven't written the location as it's still lost, so technically, it does exist. Not yet, author San said. Naruto froze hearing that and glared harshly at the screen. This glare caused author San to want to run away. Then write it. Let's say, in my hands. Naruto yelled, impatient. It doesn't go that way, Naruto. There are still many things do. I am just a tool as well. Plot Sama controls all. Plot SMA controls me. The plot keeps coming into my mind and I write it down. The rules then formed and you characters are puppets to orchestrate the whole story in the reader's mind. As soon as this is done, as soon as there is a reader that reads my story, it powers up and give life to your dimension, author San said, shaking her head with a helpless expression on her face. What are you saying? Naruto looked like she seemed to realize what happened. You are correct. You are living inside a story, so try which I created under the guidance of Plot Sama. You are the protagonist of the said story. It's called I Give Up. Naruto, I should tell you, I need you to listen to me. You need to keep going. I will try my best to give you as much clues to where is the exact location of the necklace is, but right now, I am powerless as to I do not know where it's hidden, author San said, sighing heavily. You can't really do anything about it? How is Gaara? Naruto asked hopefully. Gaara is all right. Naruto, you need to keep in mind that you are the only one that can save him, but it does not mean you can't get help from your friends. Naruto, I know that you have been through a lot and I know even if I cannot forgive them. But Naruto, you need them in this. I did not say you will use them. Naruto, they are planning to look for you and help you in this. Give them a chance, Naruto, author Sen said. Naruto was silent. I don't know. I don't know yet if I can forgive them, Naruto said. Looking away. Think, Naruto. No man is an island. Give them a chance. You'll be surprised by the outcome. Author San smiled and scratched her nose. I'll still think about it, Naruto said as she looked at her supposed creator. I still think you're a bitch for making me through this, Naruto said bluntly. Author San felt an invisible arrow pierced her chest. Ouch, it hurts. I know. Now let's talk about your love life. About you and Gaara. After you get him, what then? Author San asked, changing the subject obviously. I don't know. Gaara and I are like brothers and dash. I call that bullshit. I am the author. There is no way you can hide something from me. If you know, then why are you asking? Naruto yelled, face turning pinkish hue. You're confused. When you used to be a boy, then brothers by bond and experience, I can give a thumbs up, but now that you're a woman and his wife, who'll believe that? Plus, I know you're finding your heart beats fast when you're with him. Author San picked up the already forgotten cold coffee on the table and took a sip. Shut your mouth. Focus on getting me back in my world, Naruto snarled. Author San had the urge to slap Naruto if her hand could go through the screen. Fate Goddess said that the green bracelet is your ticket home. Best if you train and solve the inner conflicts in your mind and heart. It will help you, Author San said as she placed the coffee mug on the bedside table and laid down. I'll leave you on your own for now. I need to sleep. I still have chores and school tomorrow, Author San said and ignored Naruto's yells. Naruto sighed and sat down, pulling her legs to her chest and hugging it. She began imagining the scenarios of the possibilities in what will happen if she forgive Konoha. After sitting there for hours, Naruto sighed and gave a glance at the sleeping author. I can still find in my heart to forgive but not forget. I can forget the people that wronged me, but I cannot forget their deeds. That goes to you too, silly mother. Thanks for being with me when I thought I am alone, Naruto smiled before she felt the room shift and a portal appeared. She can see Konoha 11 with Sai and the senseis, her parents, Kurama and Itachi on the other side. Naruto took a deep breath and jumped inside. You're back. It took you a month. Kurama walked over and smacked Naruto for running away. 1 month? But it only took hours, she muttered and looked at everyone. So, any clues? Shinigami asked. None. You sent me in the wrong place. Naruto roared. Shinigami's eyebrows raised at that. That's impossible. It's not. I have the answer for your questions. But I found a friend. And she's going to help us, Naruto said with determination before she turned to the people around, opening her mouth to say something. Naruto sighed as she sat on the ground, staring at the ocean in front of her. She caressed the sand gently. Currently, they are in the land of Wave where a report of men asking anyone of the necklace of eternal life. They were a step behind and when they got in Wave, those men already disappeared. Naruto, Are you all right? Kiba asked as he walked over with Akamaru. I'm fine, Naruto said. No, you're not. Your scent literally radiates of depression and longing. You really missed Gaara, Kiba said. Naruto sighed. Am I really that obvious? Naruto asked. Shino, whom overheard it, walked over. It's very obvious. Why? Because you're subconsciously leaking out your chakra. It sends some kind of pulse-like wave that affects my bugs, Shino said. Naruto took a deep breath and heaved a sigh. Naruto, I know I'm not the best guy friend you have. I am really sorry of how I treated you in the past. I was a complete arrogant jerk. I did not know the consequences of what my words could possibly affect people around me. Kiba said. Naruto glanced at the Inazaka. You know, you really don't have to apologize. I was just being a baby and cry out my problems, Naruto said.
No.
There is no need for you to swallow others' mistake. I was really stupid at time, saying that it's better to not have parents at all. I was envious on how you were so free to do anything. Anything that a naive little child wanted. I never knew how hard it really is until I lived on my own. It was difficult for me and I was already 20 at that time. So I thought if someone like me who had a job and money could still have a hard life despite have some small allowances from my mother, how much more if I was a toddler, and not to mention the villagers' unjust prejudice on you. It must have been very hard for you. And then I realized how much of a bastard I really was. I'm really sorry, Naruto, Kiba said sincerely. Naruto smiled. Me too, Kiba. I am sorry too, Naruto said. What are you apologizing for? Kiba asked. Naruto laughed and shrugged. No reason. You too, Shino. I am sorry for ignoring you. It's not like I hate you, Naruto said. Shino gave a nod. You were a great comrade, Naruto. There is no need to be sorry, Shino said. You guys rest. I'll keep watch tonight first. Naruto waved them off, giving an expression that says, I want to be alone. Naruto, you haven't eaten dinner yet. Here, Ino walked over and handed the cup ram to Naruto, who took it gratefully. Thanks, Naruto smiled. I'm really sorry about my fault and how I acted to you in the past. I really regret it, Ino said. Naruto only smiled. It's fine. Let's put it behind us, Naruto said. You missed him. Ino said. I do actually. I like him. I'm just sad that I realized that too late to even tell him, Naruto said. Ino sighed. I heard Gaara likes looking at the sky, Ino began. The moon and stars specially. We usually gazes at them when he finished his Kazekage duties, Naruto said. It will make you feel better. Talk to it, Ino suggested. Naruto glanced at Ino, then back at the beautiful full moon. This is the song author San-mi wrote. You can use whatever tone you would like. I really like this song and I'm really proud of myself. You need to ask for my permission if you would use it though. It's hard to believe I'm too blind to see that I always have understood me. When I was alone, when I have no one to hold, you and I shared that feeling. This feelings I feel is like no other. You always seem to know. I rarely had someone who gets me like you do. You always do. But I am really blind to see what an eye-opener this is. But it's too late for me. I'm so lonely before. I won't let you go. I'll be waiting here for you. La 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 la. So good to experience, so good to be cared, and worries me genuinely. So good to have fun, so good to laugh with you. Even though I make things hard for you, this feeling is like no other. I'm sharing it to you. I rarely had someone who understood me like you do. You always do. But I am really blind to see what an eye-opener this is. But it's too late for me. I'm so lonely before. I won't let you go. I'll be waiting here for you. Oh, I'll share my life with. Oh, I'll wait here for you. Naruto sang, smiling as she took a deep breath and released it. Thanks for the advice, Ino-chan, Naruto said gratefully. I did not expect you to sing. I'm really touched. Don't let him go, Naruto. I know you will have lots of love rivals, but we cannot lose to them and we fight for our men. Ino joked, Naruto laughed. I know. I will take you up on that, Ino-chan. Tabeo, Naruto said and looked up at the moon. I'm coming for you, Gaara. Just hold on a little bit longer, Naruto said in determination. 2. Naruto. Wake up. Naruto jolted awake, but in time when an explosion appeared. Still in daze, Naruto was flung back by the shock wave before she got caught by someone. She turned to the person whom had saved her face from smacking hard on the tree. It was Sasuke. Thanks, she mumbled as she jumped off of his arms and straightened herself before turning to the surroundings. Have you found the legacy yet? Mamashiki Jin appeared. Naruto scowled. You damn bastard. You think it's so easy? You have been searching for centuries yet have not found it yet? Who do you think we are? Naruto mocked and rubbing the big ball Rasengan on the sore spot. Naruto really riles up just about anyone. The red tick mark on Momoshiki-jan's forehead screams that she had struck a nerve. Give us Gaara back! Naruto yelled as she entered Biju Chakra mode. She was about to launch like a blind lunatic and rip Momoshiki-jin to shreds, but Sasuke used his Susanoo to keep her in place. Stop charging like a damn raging bull, you idiot, Sasuke hissed, yanking her back and glared at Kurama, whom had already cut of her chakra that's inside Naruto, canceling the form she now using. Think clearly, Naruto, Kurama warned before she turned her attention on the floating man whom resembled too much of Kagaya. We don't have it. If you can't find it after years of searching, then you have no right to rush us. So you better give Gaara back, Naruto yelled, striking a very familiar scene to the spectators. It was just like back then. Years ago, Naruto was yelling at Orochimaru, Sasuke thought. Shinigami and Fate had been punished by the rules and was currently in a solitary confinement. Supposedly, they should not interfere with this, yet they disobeyed and thus got punished. You better find it. You have 3 months or I'll kill my hostage, Momoshiki-jin threatened before he disappeared. Naruto shook with rage, clenching her fist until it bled. Calm down, you idiot, Sasuke sighed. Sakura clenched her fist in jealousy. She knew she shouldn't be jealous. Naruto is married to Gaara now. But why does Sasuke still close to Naruto than her? Even when Naruto's still a boy, it's okay. But seeing as Naruto is now a girl and a beautiful one at that. Sakura felt so upset that it made her intestine turn green in envy. Sakura wants to be selfish, perhaps. She had always been since day one when it comes to Sasuke. But Naruto does not deserve Sasuke. And Sasuke, he may have tried to hide it, or was he even not aware of the fact that he was slowly liking the blonde knucklehead? Sakura could see it as clear as day. Sakura knew that Sasuke does not deserve Naruto as well. Naruto deserved to be loved and cared just like how Gaara gives Naruto and Naruto gives her affection. Though it's clear that the blonde dense idiot was not aware of her growing affection. With Sasuke, Naruto will end up being hurt. Sasuke is used to take what was given and reluctant to give. That is what she knew of him. Naruto needs more than that. A man who is reluctant to show his love to a woman is not good at all. But, thinking about this, Sakura sat down and contemplate. She would also get hurt if she would push her feelings further, forcing Sasuke to accept her feelings. No, Sakura will not live such life like that. Sakura does love Sasuke. However, Sakura be happy, but that would be temporary. Maybe in the near future, she would be a single mother raising her child while Sasuke wandered off. She overheard him talking to Kakashi and about repenting and shit like that. Sakura does not want a life like that. She does not want her child to have a life like that, distant and not knowing much about her father at all. Heck, Sakura herself does not know Sasuke at all, except the glaring obvious things. I need to stop this and choose another guy, she muttered and thought for a while. But who? Kakashi saw the changes in Sakura's expression and glanced at Sasuke's obvious actions, shaking his head. It seems like things will get more messy and confusing from her on out, he thought. Hinata observed Naruto from a distance. Complicated emotions that she could not understand had built inside her. At first she was damn furious at Natsumi for betraying Naruto, the male one, only to find out that Naruto had turned into a woman and deceived them all. You still at it, Hinata? Ino asked as she sat down next to Hinata. The girl had a bitter expression, as if she swallowed a fly. This made Ino sigh with pity. Of course she knew of Hinata's infatuation on Naruto. She may not be Sasuke's fangirl, but she's a die-hard Naruto stalker, to the point of obsession. Ino remember Hinata following Naruto around or in some distance with her Byakugan activate. That time Ino was very jealous that Hinata was so lucky to use it to stalk her crush. But now Ino thought it was outright creepy. Not to mention Niji keeping tabs on Hinata and picking her up along with her teammates when she blushed herself into unconsciousness. Ino, if Sai turns into a woman and now married to Sasuke, then we can talk. You can't possibly understand me, Hinata said bluntly. Ino imagined it in her head. It made chills run down her spine. Damn you, don't say that. Ino growled as she searched around for Sai, making sure he's still a man and breathed a sigh of relief. So I am guessing you're here for soothing me up? Hinata asked. Ino nodded. Yeah, Sakura answered as she walked over and sat next to Hinata. Okay, I don't think I can do this. You two can comfort each other, Ino said, and placed 2 sake bottles and walked away. The 2 girls stared at Ino before grabbing the bottles and chug it down, drowning in their sorrows. The next morning, a roar of fury could be heard. Everyone rushed out of their tent to find Niji chasing the half-dressed Kiba. Are those hickeys? Tenten asked, rubbing her eyes. Everyone's eyes darted to the tent by the corner. A disheveled Hinata ran out only wearing a pair of short shorts and a fishnet shirt. Love bites could be clearly seen on her neck. Everyone draw a conclusion in her mind. A furious Niji chasing a terrified Kiba plus a limping Hinata plus hickeys equals. Oh, everyone watched it. Niji was ready to drill holes on Kiba's body and Hinata jumping out to held him back. Niji roared that Kiba should take responsibility for deflowering Hinata. Okay, what happened? Sakura yawned. She reeks of alcohol and seemed to have a strong headache. Kiba and Hinata had sex last night. Niji is angry, Naruto answered bluntly, making people blush at her straightforwardness. They are clearly mocking me and slapping my face. I married my husband for a few minutes and we already got separated. Fuck, we didn't even proceed on our honeymoon. They are poking my sore spot Tebeo. Naruto huffed and stomped her foot on the ground, clearly displeased and throwing a tantrum like a child. Naruto dear, you are daddy's little girl. I will nor let Gaara deflower you. Minato fussed only to be shoved away by Kushina. Naruto, when we get him back, make sure to give me lots of grandchildren, okay, Tebane? Kushina held Naruto's hands. Her eyes sparkled. But Kushina-chan. Minato zipped his lips when Kushina hair floated up and glared at his soul. I'm sorry, you got something to say? Nothing. He laughed nervously and pulling his collar as if it was choking him. Everyone could only sigh. Of course, Naruto's playfulness came from her parents' strong genes. They spread out to search and cover more grounds. Naruto turned to Tenten. Hey, if Gaara and I have kids, what will they look like? Naruto asked out of the blue. Tenten paused and Egan thinking. It's great if you have twins that looks like the two of you. That way it's balanced. Tenten provided an answer. Sasuke overheard this and couldn't help but scowl and grunted in indignation. Kakashi patted him in the back. That's the Kazekage's wife and the 4th Hokage's daughter. Sasuke, keep your distance. Claws off, Kakashi gave a warning, not wanting to see the Uchiha being crushed using sand burial or Rasengan. HN, you're delusional. The Uchiha sneered, but his eyes still locked on Naruto's contemplating expression. She looked absolutely adorable. Naruto sat down inside her tent, silencing seals around the tent. Author, come out. Naruto finally exhausted her patience waiting for that stupid author. Goddess? Yo. Goddess of Black 89? Are you there? Tebeo? Naruto called but still no answer. Black-hearted goddess, come out. Naruto screamed. You ungrateful brat. How dare you call me black-hearted, you brat? I am in the middle of taking my exams. Author San finally came out. Why? Your nickname is Goddess of Black, so you must be black-hearted. I want to see Gaara. Naruto stubbornly said. Just wait, okay? I can connect you for a few minutes, but please let me take my exams. You can sleep or whatever. Bye. Author San yelled, irritation clearly visible in her voice. That black-hearted author. Naruto pouted in anger. Naruto laid down on her futon and waited, her eyelids slowly closing. I'm back. Now, I can connect your dream to Gaara's. I can give you a few minutes, Author San said. Naruto narrowed her eyes. Why only a few minutes? Naruto protested. Everything has rules, Naruto. For minutes in a dream is 2 hours in real life. Even if inside a story or whatever, it's not an exception. It's a good thing that I am having a writer's block. Plot-sama haven't bothered me for a while. Go get to sleep now. I can only extend my hand to you every Wednesday, Author said. Why Wednesday? Naruto asked, curious. Because it's when I am mostly free. Now go. You're wasting time, Author urged. Naruto closed her eyes and used a jutsu to force herself to sleep. Naruto opened her eyes to find herself in a field of grass with a few flowers here and there. She sat up and looked around, trying to find where Gaara is. She stood up before she saw a figure up ahead. Naruto grinned and gleefully ran towards the figure, jumping and tackling the figure to the ground. Gaara! Naruto did not know why tears fell down, but as soon as she made contact with Gaara, her emotions quickly went haywire. She felt glad, happy, comfort, safe, nostalgia, and she missed him so much. Databeo. Gaara widens his eyes in surprise. He thought that this is the most wonderful dream he had so far. Gaara wrapped his RMS around the blonde, nuzzling her citrus-scented hair. Taking a deep breath, it calms him down. Gaara closed his eyes, wanting to relish this dream. Gaara, I missed you so much, Naruto Creef. Naruto, I missed you too. Gaara gently wiped the tears in her eyes with his thumb, gently caressing her whiskered cheeks. Naruto closed her eyes and leaning on the warm and gentle touch, sighing in satisfaction. Opening her cerulean blue eyes to meet his soft and gentle sea foam eyes. Gaara, I am very sorry I could not. Naruto was cut off when Gaara placed a comforting kiss on her forehead. This intimate action caused a beautiful and adorable blush to spread on her cheeks. Don't worry, Naruto. I am fine. It is not your fault, Gaara said as he leaned his forehead to hers. Gaara, I will come for you. I will save you. Just wait for me a little longer, Naruto said as she nestled herself to his side. Gaara's lips perked up at the action. He laid down on the soft, lush green grass. Naruto laid down on his arms, holding tight on his torso, afraid that he'll disappear too soon. What have you been up to? Gaara asked casually, while he entertained himself by brushing Naruto's soft, silky golden locks. The others and I are trying to find the damn necklace. If you're worried about Momoshiki Jin getting it, don't worry. I won't let him have it, Naruto said reassuringly. You better not jump in the pit, Naruto. I hate it when you throw your life so casually. I don't want you to get hurt, Gaara said worriedly as he sighed, remembering the times when the blonde jumped in the danger, not minding that he's giving everyone a heart attack with his recklessness. If it's to protect you and the people who are precious to me, Gaara, I will not hesitate to do it all over again forever, Naruto said firmly, her eyes burned with fire and determination. I know you would say that, but this time, I want to stand by your side and not stare in the distance, Gaara said as his other hand grasped Naruto's hand, entwining her fingers with his and squeezed it tightly yet gently. Naruto nodded. I want you back, Gaara, Naruto murmured as she gave a peaceful sigh. The two laid there, enjoying each other's company and trying to imprint in on their mind. Naruto sat up when Gaara suddenly jerked forward, his body slowly dissolving. Seems I am waking up, Gaara said sadly. He was very reluctant to go. No. Please don't go. Don't leave, Naruto cried, wailing loudly like a child as she stubbornly trying to grasp Gaara's hand back, but failed as her hand passed through him. Sorry, Naruto, Gaara said sadly. No. Wait. Please. Don't leave me. I love you, damn it, Naruto yelled. Gaara widened his eyes in surprise. His eyes lit up like fireflies in the middle of the dark forest. He mouthed something, but Naruto doesn't seem to get what he said before he disappeared completely. No. 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 Naruto wailed as she fell on her knees, crying her heart out in sorrow. No. Gaara. Naruto sat up from her futon. She was covered in sweat and tears streaming down her face. She clutched her face and cried. Momoshiki Jin, I will not let you off even if you beg on your knees. Naruto eye darkened with hatred. She hated the fact that Momoshiki Jin took Gaara away just for that selfish reason. Naruto is going to take a page out of Sasuke's book. Naruto wants revenge. Naruto gritted her teeth. She wanted to vent her anger. What's the better way to do it but to take it out on a fight? And so, Sasuke became her punching bag. She parred with Sasuke in terms of strength, so she did not worry about holding herself back. She let all her anger, frustration, and other emotions. You can say she's an emotion wreck. Laying down on the crater, Naruto faced the sky, letting the rain hit her to hide her tears. To tell the truth, Naruto did not know why she's crying in the first place. It's probably the tears she kept into her heart for so long. Even Naruto wanted to stop them from falling. She could not. The more she stopped it, the more tears flowed down. Sasuke wanted to walk over Hut he held back. Although he and Naruto were friends, he can't recklessly approach her, and with this growing unknown feelings, Sasuke knew it would bring more harm than good. Sasuke sighed as he sat on the ground, his left prop up with his arm resting on it. He leaned on the boulder, tilting his head back and closed his eyes. They two just stayed there in silence, deep in their own thoughts. Hey, get it together, Naruto. I have a clue. You must find pieces of crystals. Author-san said, hoping this news could cheer the blonde up. Crystals? Naruto asked, although still down. Yes. Remember the necklace that belonged to the Shodai? That you will need 5. In the leaf, the Shodai's necklace, in the cloud, in the stone, in the mist, and in the sand. Once these crystals are together, another clue will appear, author said. Naruto's eyes lit up, but it dimmed once more. The crystal was destroyed long ago, she said gloomily, remembering the time it shattered. No. That necklace was fake, an imitation to the real thing. The clue said, hidden in front of you yet cannot and also can be seen. No need to search high and low. Can be touched, can be felt, can be tasted, can be seen. Don't look too far and too close. The answer you will know inside you, author said. Naruto frowned. The hell is that riddle? Naruto frowned as she thought, what is the answer? When she called for author, she was gone. Hidden in front of you yet cannot and also can be seen. No need to search high and low. Can be touched, can be felt, can be tasted, can be seen. Don't look too far and too close. The answer you will know inside you. Naruto repeat that passage in her head over and over again. Hut could not comprehend what it is. Naruto stood up as she slowly walked back to the camp. Seems like she'll need a certain Nara's help. Meanwhile, Gaara got out of his meditation. His eyes flashed with determination as he held up his hand into a familiar hand sigh. The rocks and bricks slowly dissolved into grains of sand. Took Gaara a long time to break down these rocks to sand. The rocks are very special, so Gaara had a difficult time. Finally, Gaara felt the familiar weight on his back. His sand-contained strap on his back. Using the spare sand to make a sand clone, Gaara dispersed into sand. Since the rocks were ink black, the sand is also ink black. Gaara had his sand traveling in the cracks and corners, disperses and slowly creep out, careful not to disturb the people around. Since the whole fortress was, floors and ceilings had chakra running through it, Gaara using it to his advantage as camouflage. He's going to get out. Damn it! And so, he continued his snail-paced journey. When Gaara finally came out of the fir tree, on the top of the fortress, Gaara's eyebrow raised. A sadistic smirk spread on his lips. Seems Momoshiki Jin used the ruins of Lauren as his base of operation. It's a bad move, especially since Gaara was a sand user. And so Gaara turned into sand as he teleported in the building not far away. He focused on his chakra to create a sandstorm to cover his escape and a little revenge to that damn villain. And so, the plan was in action. Lauren meet a ferocious sandstorm. Gaara was traveling underground already, using his sand ability to dig a tunnel for him. When the sandstorm stopped and Momoshiki Jin found out he had been played, he almost destroyed the fortress in rage. Naruto head to Konoha, seeing as it's the closest village in vicinity, to inquire more about the crystals. Surely, they won't be greedy enough to not share the information, right? And so, Naruto barged in the gate like she owned the place, shocking the gate guards when they recognized her. Everyone in the village was ready, aware that she is the Kazekage's wife and currently looking for a solution to free her husband from another villain's trap. And so, Naruto had her shadow clones raid the library, reading every single book in it for information. She even reluctantly have a chat with Tsunade. However, Godame Hokage Senju Tsunade, I, Sabaku Naruto, no longer belong to Konoha. You should think carefully. I am the current Godame Kazekage's wife. Don't you think it's a slap to Konoha's face when you elect me as Rookadame? Naruto raised a brow. Although she did not like being back in Konoha, she can't help her developed poisonous, as the Kusanagi tongue to lash out without her consent. Voicing it out filled with ridicule and resentment, her mocking eyes pierced Tsunade. I want to know more about the crystal. Please answer me, Naruto said as she shifted in her seat. You really do hate me, don't you? Tsunade looked in the verge of crying. Regretful and self-loathing could clearly be seen in her eyes. Want to redeem yourself? Too late, coward. You're a Senju and the Hokage, but you let those old goats step all over you. Isn't that a smack to your ancestor's face? Naruto inwardly laughed. It seems I won't be getting my answers. I am wasting my time. Thank you for entertaining me. Go Dame-sama. I'll be taking my leave. Good day. Naruto stood up and left the room, ignoring Tsunade's calls. Naruto coldly walked through the street. People whom wanted to greet her backed off from the cold and dangerous aura she leaked out. Naruto clearly knows that Tsunade will find her later when she finally pulls herself together. Naruto head to the inn, ignoring the manager. Sooner or later, Konohamaru would swing by as soon as he get the wind that she visited. Sakura face-bombed when she saw Rock Lee pass by her, jogging, using his hands. "Lee!" she called as the green-clad ninja skid to stop. "Sakura-san, good morning." Lee greeted. "Good morning to you too." Sakura greeted back, then she frowned. "Are you aware that your hand is bleeding?" Sakura raised a brow. Lee looked at his hand and she was right. It was bleeding because there are a few sharp rocks stuck on the bandaged arm. Wait, is that a broken shuriken? He had a broken shuriken in his arm, yet he didn't notice? Sakura blinked. "Come on, I'll go treat it. I am heading to the hospital myself," Sakura said and motioned him to come with her. "Sakura-san is offering to heal my wounds? I am so happy that I want to run around the village 1,000 times." Lee dazedly thought as he inwardly fist pump in the air. Lee hastily followed Sakura, his grin almost blinding everyone in vicinity. Sakura smiled as she shook her head. Lee's affection still held strong even after all these years. "I guess I should give him a chance. I don't have anything to lose," Sakura smiled as she led the overly excited green spandex taijutsu-loving friend to the hospital. That night, Konohamaru with Moegi and Udon came to visit Naruto. They cashed up as well as heading to the Sarutobi library to help Naruto search about the crystal's whereabouts. "If I were the owner of a priceless treasure, where would I hide it? Even Shikamaru haven't cracked the riddle yet." Naruto frowned. "Hidden in front of you yet cannot and also can be seen. No need to search high and low. Can be touched, can be felt, can be tasted, can be seen. Don't look too far and too close. The answer you will know inside you." What could it mean? Naruto let out a frustrated growl as she tried to figure out the riddle. A knock from her front door was answered by her shadow clone. Naruto jolted when the shadow clone's memories entered her brain. She immediately stood up and dashed downstairs, ignoring the fact that her hair was disheveled and only wearing a large red shirt owned by Gaara. She stole it from him some time ago because the color reminded her of her sage cloak. "Shikamaru, you figured it out?" Naruto asked. Shikamaru raised a brow, seeing the haggard blonde in front of him. "We'll talk after you fix yourself first, troublesome blonde," Shikamaru said. Naruto blinked and looked down. She shrieked and almost flew back upstairs to change her clothes and tidy herself up. After that, she swiftly went back to the living room, impatiently looking at Shikamaru. "Well?" she asked. "I'm getting to it. The answer is chakra. I think the crystal we are looking for is made up of chakra." "Whose chakra?" "I have no idea. I guess there is a way for their chakra to solidify and form the crystal. It will take us long to find out," Shikamaru said, pausing for a while. "We need the Hyugas in this search," Naruto said as she frowned. "Yes, I assumed that the chakra is special, potent, strong, and most likely have a conscience of their own. Almost like the tail beast, but its form is materialistic," Shikamaru said. Naruto nodded. The Hyugas quickly spread out to search the entire land of fire, led by Niji because Hinata is not available. Apparently, Hinata was wed to Kiba as soon as they got back, especially when it was found out that Hinata got pregnant from that drunk fiasco. To say that Hayashi is furious was not an exaggeration. He almost sent Kiba to ER when he found out. Hinata is the clan heiress. The Hyuga clan had a strict rule that women must keep their chastity intact before they got married. This rule applied to all clan as well, so the two, although quite unwilling and awkward, had to be wed, thus uniting the two clans specializing in tracking and taijutsu. Now that I think about it, clans keep their members in arm's reach. Seems like those two are the most daring ones on breaking this rule, albeit not on purpose. Naruto, though, as she stared at Konohamaru walking by, a suspicious figure following him in quite distance, swiftly hiding when the Sarutobi turned back, shrugging and continue walking. Process repeat until they are out of sight. "It's that Hyuga Hanabi," Naruto murmured, scratching her cheeks before she snapped out of it. "Must focus on finding my husband." Databeo. Naruto gritted her teeth as she ran off to find the nearest Hyuga to check on their progress. You lazy, shallow pigs. Just one little brat yet you can't guard? Momoshiki Jin roared, almost blowing away his subordinates. My master, it seems he had used his sand technique to escape. That sudden sandstorm is not a coincidence, one of his trusted confidants said, handing a bottle with fine black sand inside. Search the entire nations. Find him. If you don't consider coming back without consequences. Momoshiki Jin roared, without telling twice. The terrified subordinates scattered to hurriedly search for the red-head Kazekage. Sir, if I may state my opinion, the confidant said. Speak, what is it? Jin glared harshly. That child is smart enough to escape our sight. He must be somewhere still near this place. He dare not go back to his village lest they get implicated, the confidant said. Momoshiki Jin took a deep breath and released it. His eyes still held fury. Master, it seems that the child of prophecy had made progress. Currently in search for it in the entire land of fire, the confidant said. They better find the crystal quick. Otherwise, those fossils will be awakened any moment. We need that Shinigami's legacy, else all of us will perish. Jin gritted his teeth as he stood up, walking over the balcony. With a wave of his hand, it was pushed open, walking over to stare at the horizon. My lord, how sure are you that they can find it? They are just kids. The confidant asked in indignation. You are not qualified to know, Momoshiki Jin said coldly as he turned his head to the sky, staring at the moon. Protagonists are the darling of heavens. They defy the logic, so having the protagonist to do my work is better and faster, Momoshiki Jin said. Goddess of Black 89 spat out a mouthful of blood after she read the chapter the plot made her write. Her face was as black as the bottom of the pot. Fuck, Plot-sama. What is this sudden twist? The hell? The plot had turned in the wrong way again. Are you sure your GPS is working? The author shouted, slamming her palms on the table, spilling the juice on the table. Goddess was conflicted. The hell, man? At least find me some warning, okay? What's with this sudden development? The villain turned out to have a knowledge that he is inside a world No, wait. You created? Goddess felt dizzy. Sitting down, she cursed at the plot. Her laptop that was playing Zootopia suddenly blackened out. White text in bold appeared. This wasn't supposed to happen if you did not interfere. I brought one of your readers and stuff him in Momoshiki Jin's body. This is the consequences for your own action. As the author, you must not interfere. I hope you learn your lesson, and it disappeared. The movie continued to play. What? Goddess' expression distorted as she wanted to throw her phone to the ocean and be done with it, but she held herself back. The hell? Who is that unfortunate reader that transmigrated over? Goddess frowned as she felt a massive headache coming. At the very least, Naruto figured it out. But will she figure out whose chakra is needed? Damn you, plot. This was supposed to be a romantic story, damn it. Goddess miserably slumped on her chair. Naruto restlessly laid on her bed, toss and turning about, indicating she had a nightmare. Naruto walked through the path unfamiliar to her. Naruto continued to walk, looking around. Even without sage mode, the nature chakra around her is very light and still yet dark and chaotic. Quite contradicting, Naruto continued to walk forward until she reached a clearing. Naruto frowned as she observed the clearing. How strange, Naruto murmured. The grass, the trees, the bush, and the leaves are completely green. Not to mention the sky is dark as if covered by black miasma. An intruder, Naruto heard an amused voice. Startled, Naruto turned to the direction. In front of her, meters away, a teen, around 16. She stood out like a candle in the dark. She wore a bright red kimono. The inner garments are deep blue. In the kimono are the designs of swirls like pattern that looks like blooming flowers. Her hair was long with red tops. Half of it are pulling in a bun with a black rose pining it. Her body is well developed despite her age. From the glint from the source of an unknown light, 2 piercings on each ears. Her red eyes that almost glow in the darkness pinned Naruto to where she stood. Shirasagi Aleja, Naruto turned to the girl. In her arms was a black cat. Its purple eyes stared at her. Excuse me? Naruto raised a brow. Shirasagi Aleja, The cat opened its mouth and speak. Before Naruto could say anything else, she felt a strong force pushed her, sending her flying back. Ah! Naruto sat up, her breathing uneven as she tried to suck in as much oxygen as she could. Naruto sat there, clutching her forehead. The sun slowly rose from the horizon, but Naruto's mind is in chaos. She doesn't have any time to admire the damn sunrise. Shirasagi Elijah, Naruto murmured before she threw the covers from her body. It's a name. Perhaps she knew the location of the crystals. Naruto asked herself before she head to the bathroom in a rush. Naruto head towards the Nara clan, banging on Shikamaru's window, startling the Nara and making him fall off his bed. Naruto, you damn blonde. It's still 5 in the morning. What are you pestering me? Shikamaru snarled as he slammed the window opened. Shirasagi Elijah. Do you know who she is? Naruto asked seriously. Shikamaru frowned. Why are you looking for her anyway? Shikamaru asked, scratching his forehead. I have a dream. I think it's telling me to find her. She might know anything, Naruto said. Shikamaru sighed. Shirasagi clan has been whipped out. So far, the clan members began dropping down on the ground one by one. Some say it's probably because of the use of dark magic. Shikamaru said, remembering the name Shirasagi clan on one of the academy textbooks. Damn, another dead end. Tabeo. Naruto wanted to kick the nearest thing to vent her anger. Unfortunately, Shikamaru was the nearest and she still needs some answers, so she have to hold back her temper. Last location they have been? Naruto asked. Kumo. At least that's what where the hell did she go? Shikamaru frowned, seeing him alone in the room, shrugging his shoulder and closed the window before diving back to his bed. Naruto ran around her house, packing things that she might need in the journey. Kurama, are you still in there? Naruto asked through the link. I'm here. What is it? Kurama asked. Naruto strapped the bag on her back. Sorry for disturbing you. We're going to Kumo. I need your help, Naruto sighed. I'll be there. Give me a minute, Kurama said. Kurama probably left a note to Itachi. Naruto felt the sudden increase in her chakra, and the familiar warmth and powerful sensation she got used to years ago returned to her. Kurama is back inside her again. Let's go, Kurama said. Naruto opened the door and began speeding off. The girl, Shirasagi Elijah, lightly laughed as she stroked the cat's fur. It seems we're going to have visitors soon, she said. What would you do then? The cat asked, a smirk spread on the girl's bright red cherry lips. Only the strong and those who are worthy are allowed to enter. Those armatures, kill them all, Elijah said. A sadistic laugh echoed around her and spread into the dark forest being carried by the wind. Roars, shrieks, and howls rang out in the dark forest right after, casting more eerily and dark feeling. It seems that little she-devil found something amusing, Gyuki inside B said. Killer B stopped writing. The pen in his hand even broke. You're not joking, right? B asked, not rapping. Before Gyuki could answer, a sound of frantic footsteps rang in the air. Reikage-sama, the dark forest. There is a disturbance in the dark forest. A jonin ran in the room, panicked. Does that clarify your question? Gyuki ached. Immobilized the troops. Send out a warning to the land of lightning to stay clear out of the Dake forest. A stood up as he gave his orders. The jonin nodded and left. The ANBU began to spread out and spread the news. Naruto gritted her teeth as she impatiently traveled towards Kumo without resting. She almost ran through the gate and destroy if it wasn't for Kurama screaming to calm the fucking down. Lady Sabaku! The guard yelped and fell from his chair when he recognized Naruto. Everyone knows who Naruto is, and the fact that she got married to the Kazekage months ago was well known as well. Take me to your Kage. I need to have a word with him, Naruto said seriously. The guard nodded as he let out a loud shrill whistle. Another chunin appeared and led Naruto away towards the Kage tower. Naruto, my boy girl, how you doing running around and still had the never-extinguishing flare? Fool ya fools. Be wrapped only to get hit by a small zap of lightning from A. I am here to ask permission to enter the dark forest, Naruto said seriously. This caused the two to stare at her as if she was an insane woman that escaped from a mental institute. I'm sorry. I think my ears are deceiving me. Care to repeat that again? Asked. I said, I am here to ask permission to enter the dark forest. Old man A. You're really getting old. Naruto said, annoyed. You're mad. Once you enter there, you can never come out. No one was able to come out once they enter inside. It's filled with corrosive negative chakra energy. What confidence do you have that you can go there without being consumed by the energy? A narrowed his eyes at the woman in front of him. I can do it, old man A. Just give me a chance, Tabeo. Naruto said, annoyed. It's highly dangerous, especially since you're a sage. Think it through. B protested. Naruto walked over and slammed her palms on A's desk, effectively breaking it and sending dust and papers scattered everywhere. Think it through? My husband is in danger and the answer and the thing that can help me is in that forest. Do you think I still won't go in there with or without your permission? Really testing me? Naruto gritted her teeth. In order to pass, one must have a pure, strong, and transparent heart. You will be tested, and if your heart falter, the evil chakra will devour you alive, as said. Naruto frowned. I don't care. Naruto said, fine. But remember, we warned you. Naruto stood in front of the entrance to the dark forest. It really lives up to its name. Like in her dream, there wasn't any color there. Seeing it for real really makes Naruto shiver from the chills. Steeling herself, Naruto walked in. Not even 10 steps. Naruto was surrounded by black miasma, as if searching her body and wanted to enter and corrupt her. Naruto frowned before she felt a tingling sensation on her palm. She looked down and gasped in surprise. The sun mark like tattoo in her palm shines in the darkness. Naruto stared in wonder as the miasma did not even dare to go in its range. Use it, Naruto. Using my chakra to counter this energy will be useless, but that gift old man sage gave you is a different story. Use it. I am sure that no matter how powerful that girl is, she, in any way, could not compare to a power from a demigod, Kurama said. Naruto smiled. Okay, thanks, Kurama, Naruto thought. Closing her eyes, she focused on the chakra in her body. Utsuki Azura, I will need your help. Please lend me a hand, Naruto thought before the tattoo shined brighter and Naruto felt power surge through her system and into her own body. Thank you, Naruto murmured as she stared at her clothes. She was wearing a white kimono. The designs remind her of Kagaya's clothing years before, but on her chest was a golden sun. Reaching to her head where she felt something heavy, she touched a thing that she could discern as a crown, in a shape of a sun as well. Naruto had her hair flowing and its golden long silky smooth hair glows. She was covered with yellowish orange like barrier around her. She shone brightly in the dark forest, totally out of place in the dark with her bright sunny aura. Naruto took a deep breath as she began walking. Well, she was floating in the first place, her feet 2 inches from the ground. She was not surprised by this, after all she knew how to fly. From afar, one can mistaken her as a deity that came down from the heavens, grace it with her presence. Elijah's eyes snapped open in surprise. Her lips curled in a surprise and amused smile, though one can see the lingering fear in her eyes. How unexpected, she chuckled. How can a human possess such strong and potent chakra? Even possessed divine energy. Is she even human? Elijah frowned. Mistress, you probably did not know, but this is Uzumaki Naruto, pardon me, Sabaku Naruto. The child of the prophecy, the cat in her arms said. Elijah's eyes turned to the cat. Oh, that girl? Who would have thought we would meet here? And in person too, Elijah smiled before she turned to the other uneasy beast and demons around her. Let's give her something to play with. WR can't have our guest get bored. Elijah said as the demons and beasts stood up. Go and greet our esteemed guest. Elijah chuckled sinisterly. The demons and beast howled and roared to the sky before rushing off. Naruto frowned, sensing the danger around her got more and more noticeable. Kit! Watch out! Kurama screamed. Naruto turned towards the west. Her eyes widened as a huge claw came crashing towards her. A large claw of an abnormally large black panther came crashing down, intended to slice her into bits. Naruto's eyes flashed before he hand shot out and proceeded to use chakra to augment her strength and throw the panther before her, making it crash on the snake that was ready to devour her. Next thing that happened was chaos. Naruto did not know why these animal demons came to bother her, but it seemed DTO be a test. Someone is testing her. Kurama was annoyed. seemingly because these low-level demons try and provoke her indirectly, and so she exited the seal, grew a few size until she was the size of a lion. Taking a deep breath, Kurama roared, spiking her chakra. Ruo-oa error. Shock wave followed. The ground beneath them gave up and created a large crater and destroyed the trees and vegetation in 1 mile radius. Sound waves traveled into the forest and went beyond Lime Tsunami. Even in the cloud village they can hear it. The roar was so strong that it was enough to shake the earth and blow the attackers away from all direction. The demons sensed that this little fox was superior and clearly not someone they can afford to provoke. They quickly left in a rush. Elijah quickly covered her ears when the shock wave of the roar reached them, channeling chakra in her feet to not be blown away. Such strong power. It must be from the QB. And she sounds displeased. Elijah chuckled weakly. Alas, no matter how much strong I am compared to a human or at least 6 tails and bellow, I could not compare to the 9 tails. The Red Queen, Elijah smiled bitterly as she removed her hands from her ears. The cat nodded weakly. That roar carried dominance and pressure, making lower-rank demons like it bow their heads and tremble. Humph! Want to flaunt yourselves in front of me? You're not having the ability to challenge me. One roar sent you flying and fleeing. If I was not as forgive-ass I am now, I would have turned them into ashes. Kurama snorted before entering back in the seal. Thanks, Kurama. Naruto smiled as she continued her journey, hoping over the fallen and uprooted trees as well as the boulders. What was that? Kuroi asked, frowning. I believe it's from the QB, said before the cracked glass in his office fell and shattered. He think that all glasses in the village had shattered. Aside as his secretary quickly cleared up his desk to avoid from being soiled by the ink as the ink bottle exploded from the roar. As expected from the daughter of the Yellow Flash. Tends to go overboard, commented before his door burst open. Speak of the devil and he shall come. Minato strolled in. Where is my daughter? He asked coldly. Worrying an overprotective mother is like courting death. Completely dangerous. However, making an overprotective father anxious is like trying to stop an asteroid. Completely suicidal everyone though. Minato was literally leaking out killing intent. He was sweating and it seemed he fought his way in to gain entrance. Accursed Naruto for at least not leaving a letter in case Konoha shinobis came knocking to their doors. Gaara groaned as he struggled to sat up. He did not know where in the world he was. He saw a wooden ceiling above him. You're awake? 5th Kazekage, a girl's voice called. Gaara turned to the source. A girl around 18 sat by the window drinking tea. Her hair was long and in a braid with black streaks. Her eyes were the color of red. And, are those fangs? She dressed in a black kimono with white lily designs. Who are you and where am I? Gaara asked, cautious. My name is Akuma Rina and you, Kazekage-sama, are currently in the Black Mountain Gang, she answered. Black Mountain Gang? That's 3 mountains away from the village Naruto used to lived in hiding, Gaara thought. What is the Black Mountain Gang? It's a group of people that practiced witchcraft. On the contrary belief, they do not actually harm people at random. They created a barrier around the mountain to throw off people with ill intention. Near the Black Mountain where the gang resided, a village stood proud. It's an independent village in the land of demons. Akumigakure is a mercenary village specialized in trading that includes imports, exports, and foreign trading, thus many individuals come and go. It's a place where auctions also happens, and because it's a place filled with all kinds of goods, bandits were flocking around the borders. That is where the Black Mountain Gang comes in. Once their customers were attacked within the border, they would be captured and sent to prison. Not technically a prison, but it's where a place where one wished they were dead. Their black magic would be experimented on them. The leader of the village, Akumikage, did not mind such action if it would make his people and the customers be on their best behavior, so why not? And thus, the two sides never really crossed. The Black Mountain Gang got what they needed, their materials, while the Akumigakure got what they needed, their protection. As always, the priestess in the land of ogres, if highly against the use of black magic. The two sides were like water and fire, did not mixed and has been like that for generations. The land of ogres believed more in purity, and to Kami-sama, while the land of demons went into Shinigami side with a belief that everyone had their inner demons, priestess included, to avoid conflict, because the land of ogres was outnumbered, seeing a priestess and priest are only a few. They just ignored one another. Gaara knew this as he is a Kage. In the Fourth Ninja War, 2 villages did not bother to step in the conflict. He was cautious as to why he was brought here. Do not worry, Kazekage-sama. Just relax and recuperate. Your savior will soon come. Rina, the most powerful Black Witch in the Black Mountain Gang because of her genes and being the heiress to the extinct Grand Black Witch's line. Gaara nodded in response, still on guard. Naruto came out behind the bush and saw a girl in the middle of the clearing, just as she had seen in her dreams. I know why you're here, Elijah said. Tell me, how do you find the crystal? Naruto demanded. I can extract it from the host, however. I could not do it alone, for I would need help from an old friend of mine, Elijah said. Naruto gritted her teeth in frustration. Who? Akuma Rina, the Grand Black Witch of the Black Mountain Gang. Bring her to me, Elijah said. Who are you? Shirasagi. Elijah. I am Sabaku Naruto, Naruto said. Elijah chuckled before she nodded. Though I am quite upset that you ruined my forest dash. Hold it right there, you brat. Who asked you to send your lackeys to attack me? So you have a mindset to destroy but others won't fight back. That's a dangerous thinking you got there, Naruto said. Ha 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 ha, as expected. Go quickly, go away. I don't like the way your purity is making the environment more pure and clean. You're destroying my source of energy. Elijah pointed out at the grass Naruto was standing in, which was a huge contrast to its surroundings. Fine. I'll go. I'll bring Akuma Rina with me. But you will help me. Got it? Naruto huffed. Elijah only giggled. No need to thank me though, Elijah said as Naruto flew towards the Akumigakure. Naruto broke the sound barrier again and again as she hastily made her way towards the Akumigakure, zooming past like a flash of white and gold, leaving behind her wake a strong gust of wind with the strength of a hurricane. 4 hours later, Naruto arrived by the border of Akumigakure. She took a deep breath and stepped inside. Rina opened her eyes with a smile. She's here, she said. Who? Gaara asked. Rina did not answer and only smiled mysteriously. Gaara inwardly shrugged. At least she's not a chatterbox. Naruto arrived at the foot of the Black Mountain Gang's territory. She could not believe it. Gaara, he's here. Naruto almost burst into tears before she literally pulverized her way inside. Meanwhile, Black Mountain Gang were in the state of panic when they felt a huge, powerful force bust outside their doorstep. Its power alone almost placed mountains on their shoulders, so they could do nothing. A blur of yellow zoomed past them. Is that Naruto-sama? One murmured. It's Naruto-sama, the other agreed. Why is she here? I think it has something to do with Rina-sama. Gaara felt a familiar yet unfamiliar chakra heading to their direction in a rapid pace. Before he could do something, the huge door was ripped from its hinges. Gaara blinked in surprise. Naruto stopped on her tracks before she burst out crying and ran towards Gaara's arms, wailing, Gaara, I missed you so much, Tabeo. Naruto cried a river of tears of joy. I missed you too. So much that it hurts. Gaara softened his gaze as he wrapped his arms around Naruto and comforted the blonde. Naruto held and clung on Gaara like a koala bear. She feared that if she let go, he'll disappear. Let's go. Let's leave them to it for now, Rina told Kurama, whom stood next to her. The redhead nodded and left with her. How did you get here, Gaara? How did you escape? Naruto asked frantically after a few minutes for their hugging session. I escaped because of how careless they were. I am determined to come back to you. I was still recovering and in hiding. Surely the person he will search is you. As what you have known, he is far stronger. I don't want to put you or the village in danger. So I have to stay away, Gaara said, caressing Naruto's cheek gently. Naruto leaned on the soft and warm touch, closing her eyes and purred in content. Naruto opened her eyes and looked at Gaara seriously. I want a baby, Naruto seriously said. This time it was Gaara whom was speechless. Naruto, you. Gaara sighed. Don't you think we both deserved to be happy with our own family? With all the shit we have been through, don't you think it's bad if I want to be selfish and be happy with you? Gaara, with how the things going on, I know I am being irresponsible, but I just want this mess to end. Is it really that bad on asking to have a peaceful life? Naruto clutched on Gaara's maroon sweater. She looked at him with her tired and weary eyes. Gaara smiled sadly and wiped the tears away. It's not that I don't want to, but it's not the right time yet. I don't want our child to be born in the middle of this chaos. Want them to live carefree in a new era. An era where there is no war, no fighting, no killing. A place where they can be free and happy. A place where they can make memorable childhood memories that the two of us could not have. And in order for that to happen is for us to fight and win this battle to make that dream a reality, Gaara softly said and kissed Naruto's forehead. Naruto sighed and she looked at Gaara. Okay, but... Naruto did not say any more words. She directly stood on her toes and pulled Gaara's neck, bringing his head down and connecting their lips. Gaara's eyes widened and Naruto released her hold. They stared at each other with intense longing and love. I love you, they confessed. A bright smile appeared on Naruto, almost blinding Gaara with their radiance. Gaara leaned down and captured his wife's lips, claiming them as his own. That's right. This woman in my arms is mine. Naruto was surprised with the sudden change of atmosphere, but she did not struggle as she was hoisted up and thrown in the bed. Kurama took a sip on her cup of tea and stared intensely at Rina. Since those two would be rolling in the sheets for a while, I guess I should tell you to save time, Kurama said. Rina nodded. Elijah sent us, Kurama said. This made Rina looked up in surprise. She did. Rina blinked. Kurama nodded. It's about like this. And Kurama began explaining. Rina listened well before her face turned blank. Why is Elijah bothering me about this matters? It's clear she can do it herself. Why drag me into it too? She's always like this ever since we're young. Bothersome girl. Rina's eyelids twitched in annoyance. Kurama shrugged her shoulders and casually laid down on the couch, wondering what her family is currently doing. Are they eating well? Are they comfortable? Are they being bothered by pests, fangirls at all? Itachi, your trust of me, wife, is quite low. You underestimated me too much. Rina stood up to go to her room to pack for the journey, writing a letter for the leader of the Black Mountain Gang that she would be on a journey. Truth be told, Rina herself doesn't know why she agreed to join this, probably and unmistakably chaotic journey. I have stayed in this territory for too long. I guess I was just that bored, Rina shrugged. The next morning, the two finally came downstairs. Kurama was about to comment, but remembering her own experience, she chose to shut up. Let's go, Naruto asked. Rina nodded. She brought her broomstick with her to ride on. Naruto opened her mouth. Why do witches ride broomsticks and wear pointy hats? Naruto asked. Rina raised a brow before shrugging. It's tradition, she answered. Naruto nodded. Naruto took out a huge fan like Temari, but the color of it was red with gold waves designs. It was a gift from her sister-in-law. Kurama doesn't want to deal with the wind and the sun, entered Naruto. Naruto and Gaara got on the fan and followed Rina as they flew back to where Elijah was. Elijah opened her eyes and smiled. They are coming then, she smiled and stroked the cat's fur, running towards the hideout. These shadows shook in fear as they entered the territory. Master, our subordinates has arrived. Momoshiki Jin, whom was sitting on his throne like chair leisurely, opened his eyes. He scoffed before closing them, waving his hand as the door opened. Although his eyes was closed, the third one on his forehead, his red Rennigan eye is open and staring at his subordinates, as if he can look past their bodies and eye to their souls. Any news? Momoshiki Jin asked coldly. Master, there is none, one of them answered. He was a cannon fodder, of course. After he said that, a loud bang could be heard as a ray of red light hit him, turning him into ashes in a blink of an eye. The others shook in fear seeing the display, but they did not voice out their grievances. Master, there is one. I saw them, Master. The escaped prisoner, the Kazekage, had reunited with Child of the Frappacy. One of the subordinates at the very back spoke up. Momoshiki Jin opened his eyes. Waving his hands, the other mob characters smack on the walls and the one whom spoke got dragged into the front. Where are they heading? Momoshiki Jin narrowed his eye. Dark Forest in Kumo, Your Excellency. With them was a witch from Black Mountain Gang. The Grand Black Witch, Akuma Rina, the cannon fodder said. Momoshiki Jin then let out a laugh. Even resorted to black magic. Amusing. Very amusing, Momoshiki Jin laughed. There is also one more thing, Your Excellency. Naruto has reached demigod level. It seems she triggered something to activate it. It carried the aura of the Momoshiki royal clan, the subordinate added. As expected of the heroine. When pushed into the abyss, she would still find a life-saving artifact. The protagonist halo she possessed really is strong. And to think Momoshiki Ashura would really give and merged his aura and chakra into her system. Momoshiki Jin thought, to tell the truth, Momoshiki Jin was a transmigrator, got dragged into the mess and discovered an earth-shattering behind-the-scenes secrets. Buried under the sea and tectonic plates was a mansion. That mansion had 20 people inside, deep asleep and sealed away. This was the Momoshiki clan, sealed away by Momoshiki Kagaya. Momoshiki Jin only awoken after he transmigrated into the body he currently possessed. With Lady Luck smiling down on him, he managed to escape. It seems Plot-sama had a hole on his brain and dug a small hole on the seal in order for Momoshiki Jin to squeeze through and escape. Momoshiki Jin could only stomp his feet as he watched the small hole patch up, but the seal gradually weakened. He knew what destruction this clan will bring to the world if they are released, and the only way for them to be stopped is to be killed. So Momoshiki Jin stole the Shinigami's mask, but it could only kill one and dragged his shit down as well. So Momoshiki Jin studied and studied for a way, ignoring the first great shinobi war outside. Once again, the father one shined down his grace on him and a book, out if no word fell on his head. Momoshiki Jin almost destroyed the thing if it did not carry the information he needed. Flipping though the pages and read. Momoshiki Jin found his answer. The Shinigami's necklace that has the ability to create chaos by bringing the dead back to life, and also cause a mass destruction. It also has the ability to suck 100 souls in one go. This is it. Momoshiki Jin thought excitedly and flipped for any clues where it was, only to find it blank. I know I am a cannon fodder, but you don't have to be so cruel. I bet if the legitimate child protagonist hold this book, the map will appear. Are you really that biased? Huh? Father Plot-sama? Momoshiki Jin flipped the table, scattering the books, papers, and scrolls in the air as he threw a tantrum. Master has gone stupid again. His right-hand man stood on the side and watched as his young master stomped and screamed like a child. You, go and get the others. Search far and wide. I don't care if you tear this world into pieces, flip over lands, or dry out the seas and oceans. I want you to find the Shinigami's necklace. Now! Momoshiki Jin roared, taking out his anger on the unfortunate subordinate, whom quickly ran to carry out orders and spread it out. Years and years went by. Momoshiki Jin stayed in the shadows and watched the father Plot-sama arrange the house settings and events, and let his children, main and minor characters, his fellow illegitimate siblings, villains and cannon fodder, and subordinates, mob and side characters worked, until to the day that Naruto was about to be announced as Hokage. Only for it to not happen. What the fuck happened? Hey, big boobs Tsunade, you are supposed to anoint the protagonist. Hey, don't go off the script, yo. Momoshiki Jin watched as everything began to fall far and far away from the path plot. Did I get transmigrated into a fanfiction? Momoshiki Jin stared blankly from the sky as he watched Naruto and Gaara get married. Momoshiki Jin then decided to solve his problems by courting death. He kidnapped the male lead Gaara to force the female lead, Naruto, to do his bidding. And what do you know, 5 months later, they already gotten a clue, not to mention the female lead had unlocked a new skill. So unfair yet. Rina stood in front of Elijah with an annoyed face. Speak. What is it that you want? Rina stated coldly. Elijah smirked and casually leaned on her chair, displaying an overbearingly arrogant and domineering, the wildness in her aura that screams predator, like an untamed tigress image, which was a stark contrast with Rina's firm, calm, frosty cold, strict, and dark aura that was seeping out of Rina's body, like a million-years-old ice glacier that emitted out mists. The two girls has similar capabilities. Their abilities par on one another, coexisting yet clashing at the same time. Sister, sister, sister. You talked as if we are strangers. It hurts very deep, here in my heart. It makes me feel as if our sister bond had shattered. Elijah playfully and dramatically acted, grinning while she's at it. Rina was unmoved, staring at Elijah as she weighed down her words. Do not address me as your sister. We are not related. Rina said coldly before she opened the black fan in hand that has the golden lightning danes on it, waving it gently. Now, shrugging aside those pitiful and unnecessary matters, why is it that you needed my help on something Rina raised a brow as she leaned back on her chair. What a killjoy! As always, Elijah scoffed with a hint of disdain. Her attitude complete turned 360. Right, important matters. Naruto-san had come to my territory to seek help. Retrieving the Crystal Guardian, Hatsusuda, Elijah said, heading straight to the point. Rina stopped fanning herself. Her hand completely froze as she stared at Elijah with wide eyes filled with astonishment and disbelief. The Crystal Guardian to the Shinigami's necklace? Wasn't it lost centuries ago? Why bringing it matter now? Rina frowned as she turned to Naruto. We needed to fight against Momoshiki Jin, Naruto answered. She did not dare hide any secrets. Why hide this information? It's not like it has something of value. Sooner or later they would eventually find out. Why not save the trouble and just outright be blunt and tell them? They won't be beaten to death, right? I see. So that is how it is. Rina paused before she sneered. Are you aware that if you don't court death, you won't die? Elijah and I are proficient in using black magic and black arts, and having belonged to the main branch of our respective clans, naturally, we have the minor authority in dealing with this kind of things. However, the thing that concerns me is, Rina paused and gazed at Naruto firmly. Why do we have to risk our lives? We will get dragged into this, Rina said sternly. Are you completely stupid and mentally retarded? Even if you won't get yourselves involved now, you will be forcefully dragged in the muddy waters soon. Even if you won't help me, you will still fall. Do you think those Momoshiki will let you off? Snap out of the dreamland. Girlie, you've been in your house way too long. It's time to step into the real world. Naruto smacked her hand on the table and stood up. Do you think Momoshiki will let you and your people off by staying neutral? Are you aware that you guys have the capabilities in hindering his plans? Do you think he will not remove his problems from the roots? Very naive, Tabeo. Naruto sneered, her eyes filled with ridicule light. Rina was stunned and so was Elijah. They looked at each other and sighed. Fine. We will help. Excuse me, you two have a grudge against me? Naruto asked. No, the two replied flatly. Naruto, think I am blind, Tabeo? If you two don't have a grudge against me, then why am I tied up like a caterpillar that is on the verge of turning into a pupa? The two witches that held grudge. Is it wrong to be playful and mischievous? Who knew you're too stupid to agree so impulsively without thinking about it first? Don't blame it on us. Yeah. What happened to the trust between comrades? Huh. P.O.Q. This is how you supposed to treat your elders, Tabeo. Naruto huffed. On the floor was a huge ceiling array. It was different from what Naruto could see, even if upside down. She understood this is not a simple ceiling array. However, the two began to chant some unknown language and the formations lit up with red light. And then, a searing pain appeared so suddenly on Naruto's abdomen. It hurts. Databeo, Naruto screamed on top of her lungs, successfully shattering any glass in the room, and more possibly the eardrums of the people present. But Naruto did not care about that because she passed out immediately. Gaara was held back by Kurama. He shot the fellow redhead a glare before he turned to his wife, whom was unconscious. What are they doing? Naruto would not pass out and give in that easily. Gaara gritted his teeth out in both anger and concern. It's like extracting the tailed beast from its host. It's fucking painful. We need the crystals to the necklace of the Shinigami. With it together, we will be able to form it back. Kurama explained as they could only watch. Wisp of blue that looks exactly like will-o-wisp formed above Naruto's unconscious body. It was still in its gaseous state, so it formlessly floated there. Hours passed by as the blue wisp began to solidifying into a blue crystal. The black runes on the floor disappeared when a shock wave exploded from the crystal. Elijah and Rina knelt down from the pressure and coughed up a mouthful of blood. Gaara crashed on the sand that managed to support him before his face smack on the ground. Kurama gritted her teeth and groaned as she resisted the pressure. Another shock wave that follows up the first a few moments later, sending Elijah and Rina crashing on the walls. Kurama had skid backwards and circulate the chakra in her body to constantly resist the dam pressure. Gaara had his walls of sand blasted away, but he still knelt down on his place. Bright light enveloped the crystal as it began to change form, growing a pair of legs, arms, body, head, and hair. The light faded, and above Naruto's body was a girl whom had a transparent body. long blue hair that matches the color of the wisps, floating in the air in the non-existent wind, gray, unfeeling eyes. She wore a white kimono top with ice blue linings, black and red sash, a shimmering blue skirt, black fingerless gloves, and white shinobi shoes. On her forehead was a blue crystal that resembled Tsunade's and Sakura's seal. Who has eaten the heart of a bear and guts of a leopard? To actually dare defy the laws and summon me from my safe heaven. The girl floated there with a domineering aura. With this crime, are you aware that you will bring destruction? The girl called out and released another pressure. Naruto woke up from the strong killing intent and pressure. On instinct, she released one as equally back. Struggling to stand up with her sore body, she faced the ghost-like girl. Suda Hatsu was startled when her pressure and killing intent was being intercepted with another. Looking at the source, it was her host, the child of the prophecy, the one she watched grow up. But starting 2 years ago, Hatsu lost interest. Hatsu began scrolling down the memories of Naruto and understood the situation, but was rather perplexed when the barrier she could not take down surrounded a certain memories. The memories of Naruto in another world. I see, so this is how it is. The situation is quite unexpected. Hatsu dropped her hostility, and in response, Naruto also dropped her, but the adrenaline rush has still yet to subside, so she was still on guard. This is Suda Hatsu, the spirit of the crystal. She is still in this form, for she is still incomplete. You still need to find 4 more. Rina walked over, wiping the blood from her lips. Do you know who and where the other 4 are? Naruto asked. Hatsu paused before nodding. Half of the second piece is right over there. You must find Shikaku to complete the second piece. I resided on the chosen Jinchurikis in 5 nations. 1, 3, 6, 8, and 9. 9 is already cleared out. Find the other 4 with their tailed beast inside them. Then we'll talk, Hatsu said. Naruto glanced at Gaara, who only nodded. I will be used as a container once more for Shikaku, Gaara said. Naruto was about to protest but held it in. No one could take it more than Gaara or stand the craziness of Shikaku. Fine, but I am going to get my father and mother to help seal him, Naruto said. Gaara nodded. Good, you guys get off my territory and come back. I can't leave my territory and Rina can't wander around the nations. So we only need to stay here and wait for you guys, Elijah said and motioned at Hatsu. She will be your guide into finding the appropriate or location of the Jinchurikis, and tailed beast needed, Elijah said. We'll leave at dawn then. Naruto leaned on Gaara for support. Fuck. It still hurts Databeo. Although Hatsu had seen in the memories, she could still not believe her eyes. Her jinx had come true. I hope you guys like the story. Comment down below when you want the next part. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. Legacy signing off.